everybody, and welcome to the United stand in what is, without question, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's biggest game as Manchester United manager. And we are, 2 minutes away from his biggest selection. Cannot wait to see it. I'm going to predict that Matic and Mata start. I think the hints were there yesterday. The game itself against Leicester is absolutely huge. We've got to find a win to win. We've got to find a win today. I don't even think a draw in the grand context of things is that impressive. We might think it is. But for me, you've got to try and win today. With Manchester United at home, we've had a bad start to the season, and I think a draw will probably put us mid-table after 5 games. So we've got to try and get the win. The team news is going to come out for you in the next 60 seconds. That's my predicted team news on the right-hand side there. So don't panic yet, although it could well be right. There are a few leaks about what the team's going to be, but I'm choosing to ignore them, and I'm going to go with what I think is a logical team news for Manchester United, and that is the one that is on the right hand side to me at the moment. So please do smash a like on the video. Let's see if we can get 1,000 likes very, very quickly, and do subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, you're very, very good. Biku 1836 says, are you good, Mark? I don't know. I think my mood's going to change in about 2 minutes time. I don't know how I'm going to react to this team news. I'm telling myself to be positive. I'm telling myself to just go with it. But I am somewhat concerned about the team that is going to get picked today, because I want to see, in the last few seconds before the team comes out, I want to see a team that's progressive, that I can get behind and see is going to build into something, like what Lampard's doing at Chelsea. And I don't see what I'm getting behind with Matic and Mata back in the team. But you know what? Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what's going to happen. The game is at 3 o'clock. So the team news is about to come out, actually. Let's just get it for you as quick as it comes. Yeah, a little bit nervous, I've got to be honest. Here it is then. Matic and Mata start. Andreas Pereira starts. There's no youth. Absolutely no youth in that team at all. The bench has got Twansibi, Gomez, Chong and Greenwood on it. And Fred. The bench is better than the team. Really disappointed with that lineup, I've got to be honest with you. It's not the team I wanted to see. So De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Ashley Young, midfield 3 of Matic, McTominay and Pereira, with Mata, James and Rashford. For me, that's not good enough. It isn't. I mean, the bench is really exciting. I've got to be honest with you. The bench has got Fred on it. The bench has got Gomez and Chong and Greenwood on it. But it's not the team that I wanted to see today, and I'm disappointed with it. I can't lie. But you know, hopefully they'll go and get a performance. But what does it show? It shows that when we get these injuries, this is the team he's going to pick. He's still going to pick the same crap that I'm bored of seeing. I'm bored of it. Absolutely bored of it. And look, I'm going to try my very best just to go along with what he's doing today, but I don't agree with it. It's not what I think United needed to do today. And I think he could have done far, far better than that. And I think a lot of people will agree with me. I think a lot of people will agree with me with that. I think that there was an opportunity to at least get one of the young lads in it. Like, why not just play one of them? We could have done that quite comfortably. And he decides not to do it. So I'm just about to change the score for you here. It should automatically just change, he says. Save that, overlay. And it's done it for the screen for you there. So yeah, that's the Manchester United lineup. And I want to get into the comments very, very quickly and see what you lot are saying about it. At least, why is Matic playing? Says, great banter. I've got no idea why Matic is playing in this game. He literally mocked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on social media within an hour of the Southampton game, but starts today. Paul Gill says, Mark, I can end this debate on whether McTominay is any good. Just look at what Roy Keane was doing and how he was performing at Scott's age. There is no comparison. McTominay is just not good enough. Well, these lads have got to come in today and grind it, but it's a very slow midfield, as Sammy Boy said. It's ridiculously slow. It's ridiculously slow. I mean, that is the team there. I mean, whether it's a 4-3-3, I don't know. It's good to have Wan-Bissaka back, but we know we've got that weakness at left back. That midfield is ridiculously slow, but on top of that, What baffles me here is you look at the bench of Manchester United and it's got Gomez, Chong, Greenwood and Fred on it. All quite quick players. Then you look at the team he's selected, an absolute donkey midfield when it comes to pace. Forget ability, it's very, very slow. And then the front three has got Mata in it. Like, I don't know. Look, let's get the win. Let's get the win. At the end of the day, nothing is lost when the team news comes out. No, on the other hand, nothing is won. And if he gets the win today, a lot of people will be pleased with it, myself included. But I'm not pleased with that team. It doesn't offer me anything to look forward to. Like, Matic and Mata don't offer me a future as a Manchester United fan who needs to be excited. They just don't. The bench is exciting, but the bench is the bench. You know, the bench is the bench. The bench is not first teamers. If you're ready, you're ready. And at this I said this last night. At this point in time, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer ranks Juan Mata as a right winger ahead of Mason Greenwood and Gomez and Chong. And at this moment in time, he ranks Nemanja Matic as a better player than Fred. That's on the manager and his coaching staff. That's all I'm going to say. Zayn Mayasi, Mark Rashford was never good enough. He's a squad player at best. Only players to keep Pogba, Martial, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire and De Gea. The rest are squad players. And Alligator says, play the youth, you coward. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Yeah, it's. I'm going to have to put a tweet out, everybody. It'd be wrong of me not to. But I'm absolute joke of a starting lineup. I really do. That starting lineup for me is a joke. Mata and Mata back on out wide and Matic in the midfield. It's shocking. Clearly the youth isn't ready. Because if you're ready, you're ready. That's all I'm going to say. If you're ready, you're ready. Anyway, let's have a look at what a lot of you lot are saying. No, I don't want to see Ollie out. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. It's way too early to be saying that. Man United are parking the bus, says Tumelo. Well, we might be doing that. I mean, when you look at it tactically, maybe that is the plan today, to park the bus. Akshay Sood says, got to chip in here and say that something Ollie's looks like he has no clue what he's doing. Hard pill to swallow, but it's the truth. Expecting no pace today from this team. Not at all excited. I mean, let's have a look at the Leicester team, actually. I would predict that Leicester have gone with the midfield three of Tielemans and Maddison and Ndidi. But so they've gone Schmeichel, Ricardo, Evans, Soyuncu, Chilwell, Chowdhury, Tielemans, and Ndidi, Damari Gray, Maddison, and Vardy. Oh, he's actually playing Maddison in a more advanced role there, and he's got Damari Gray playing, who's a decent player on his day. Chilwell's very good as well. I'm very the thing that intrigues me, thing that intrigues me the most at this point is, how are we going to line up? Are we going to play? Well, we can't be playing the 4-4-2 because we haven't got two strikers. So Daniel James has got to be playing out wide. So maybe Pereira's playing out wide and Mata's playing in the midfield. Jonathan Reed says, I'm proved right. Worst United team squad last 10 years. Ollie is a liar, says Roshak. I really hope coming off the bench, Greenwood or Chong scores. Hopefully it would force Ollie to play the youth, says Kieran Higgins. I was going to say that, Kieran. I think that is a very intriguing thing that you've just said there. That the thing is that when you look at the bench is actually rather exciting, isn't it? Because if I'm right in thinking, we've got Tahith Chong, Angel Gomez, Mason Greenwood, Twan Seaby, Sergio Romero. Let me just double check. I don't want to be wrong about this. I don't think we've got any Deadwood on the bench. I might be wrong. Oh no, Phil Jones is there. So yeah, Phil Jones is on the bench. But other than that, it's in an attacking sense, it's certainly a Manchester United side on the bench that many would say is more exciting than the starting team. But you know, he clearly doesn't trust these players to go out in a big game like this, and that's down to him. He's the manager of Manchester United Football Club. It's his job. He can do what he bloody well likes. Of course he can. I don't think anybody has can moan about that. That is his right, and he will do what he wants to do. And I can't moan about that, but I can moan about the fact that I just don't think that team is anywhere near the quality it needed to be today. I think it could have been a lot better, and I think that in some ways, Ollie is misleading fans by saying that these young lads are ready, because surely you want to win a game at home. It's the most logical thing in the world. Surely you want to go and win a game at home, and I don't see that team really. It can win today. I've said this before, but it goes beyond being able to win the game. It's about building a future, isn't it? I think this team could win today, but then lose to West Ham next week, because I've seen this team let us down numerous times before. What number does Mason Greenwood play at? I just want to sort something out here, because it's going to be really useful to bring it into the show. Okay, 26. 26. And Fred plays at number 17, so I've changed the wrong number there. Score predictions, everybody. Well, I still think that Manchester United will get something out of this game today. Call me stupid, call me what you want, but I just think that there is this opportunity, so to speak, for Manchester United to get something today, and I think that we probably maybe will. Definitely maybe, as the great Oasis once sang. So I think we definitely maybe can get something from today's game. And I'm still going to stay with that prediction, because I think I've seen it so many times where people predict a loss and then you end up winning. Awful. Why isn't Mason Greenwood playing? What a joke, with the slowest midfield ever against Vardy. I'm not Ollie out, but what is he doing? Says that guy. Or the guy. Jordan Such says, let's be honest, if Lingard was there, one of Gomez or Greenwood or Chong wouldn't even be on the bench anyway. Spot on, Jordan. Mr. Beast shows you how far we've regressed when Leicester are playing a better midfield. Pray for a miracle. That's about all we can do. Don't think United will win. And Zayn Mayasi says, Mark, does United Youth School still exist? It used to be the best, now it's producing rubbish. And Ali K says, Mark, I'm confused why you're crying out for Fred. Every game he's looked total crash. What makes you think trash? What makes you think he will offer more this season? P.S. Bet that cute little bottom is looking peachy today. Ali K, I've got to be fair and say that thanks for the contribution, but I'm not actually the person who consistently does say that he wants Fred added into the team. I would start Fred over Matic. I'd start you over Matic, but I just think that Fred is more of the future for Manchester United than anybody else is, to be honest with you, and certainly than a Matic is. So that's why, for me, I would like to have seen him play. But it's certainly not ideal. Now, if you can, I've done something wrong there. I didn't want to do that. Just pop that there and lock it. So I have actually changed this a little bit here today. I've put Pereira onto the right, because if you go back to hello everybody. Here I am. If you go back to me, and that's the lineup on the left, that's one way of playing, with Andres Pereira as the number 10 and Mata playing off the right-hand side. Are you happy with the starting lineup, says George Ramos. No, I'm bloody not, mate. I'm going to go through it now. And Red or Dead says he's clearly gone for experience. Playing the youth in this game and it's not working would be too damaging. He can't afford to burn this squad, but not... He can afford to burn this squad, but not the youth. I still think it's cowardly. I mean, I think the issue I'd have with that... Red or Dead, is that, yeah, of course, not playing the youth, you're protecting them, and you're not burning them. But it's Old Trafford. It's Old Trafford. And if they're ready, they're ready. And Frank Lampard's burning his youth. So, you know, I think it's cowardly. I think it's cowardly. And to be honest with you, beyond that, not only do I think it's cowardly, I don't actually think he really wants to pick the youth. I've said this before. He talks the talk and he doesn't walk the walk. And they're going to have to force their way in, because he ain't going to give them a start, is he? But Red Adarman says, what the hell is going on with this club? It's finished. But let me just go back to where I was talking about the starting 11 there. So actually, look at the watch-along screen. So I've got Pereira in a 4-3-3 with Mata playing off the right. I think we might actually see this. Pereira playing off the right with Mata playing in the midfield three. For two reasons, really. One, Mata played against Ben Chilwell in the opening game of the season last year, over a year ago. And that was the game where, for me, I felt that Mata was finished. I can't understand why he's still at the club. Mata got absolutely murdered by Ben Chilwell in the opening game of the season last year. Chilwell going up and down, up and down. So I can't think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will play Mata against Chilwell. So I think we'll probably see Andreas Pereira playing off the right with Mata in a midfield three. And Pereira today, I put the circle on him for a moment. I think Pereira today is actually quite important from the point of view that his ball delivery, his set piece delivery could be crucial in a game like this. So Pereira wasn't in many people's predicted 11s, but at least we've got somebody with some set piece delivery, which means Harry Maguire comes into the game. So we've got to use that today. We've got to use Pereira. The bench is there for you to see. As you can see here is the bench. You've got Romero on there, Twansebi and Jones as the centre-backs. Tahith Chong, Gomez, Mason Greenwood and Fred. God, how, this is why people are frustrated in the live comments, because what should have happened is two of those players there, any two of Chong, Gomez, Greenwood and Fred should actually be starting instead of Mata and Matic. Like, for Fred in for Matic would have been absolutely superb. But he's gone with the experience. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer picks the team. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has decided that he is not going to pick Fred. He's going to go back to static Matic. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has decided he will not pick any of the youth. He's going to go with Juan Mata. So, you know what? We can always moan about the lack of spending in the summer. Of course we can, and it's a very, very valid thing to moan about. But when you're moaning about the starting 11, you can look at that bench on the left-hand side and you can look at that starting lineup in front of you. And I'm sorry, there's no excuse. The team is the team. The team is the team that he's picked. The team is the team that he's going with. There were other options there. We are decimated by injury. And I've got to be honest, I agree with that previous comment before. If Lingard had been fit, if Martial had been fit, you wouldn't even see Chong and Gomez on that bench. And that's what he's doing. That's what he's decided to do. He said to us back in, I don't know why I'm still keeping that screen. He said to us back in April, after we got embarrassed by Everton, he said that some of these players won't be here. They've had their last chance, effectively. And lo and behold, they're still here. So, you know what? Excuse me if I'm starting to lack trust in this management of Manchester United. Starting to. Because I think you hear a lot of things that don't actually get borne out to be true. And that is a little bit disappointing. Do you think the bench is a message to the old players? Perform or out. Last chance, got nothing to lose from here this season, says Stig Held West Ham. I think it's romantic, Stig. I like those sort of things when people say Ollie's put all that youth on the bench to give everybody their last chance in the first team. But it's too romanticised. We've got 5 points from 4 games. He can't afford to do that. He needs to win today. I hate to say this, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has gone with the team that he thinks can win that game. He's picked his best team in his mind. It's not the best team that I would pick. It's not the best team that you would pick, but he's gone with the best team. And we need to wake up to that, because we used to do this with Van Gaal as well. We'd say, he's keeping Herrera back for the next game, and then he wouldn't pick him again. The biggest clue you can get is that a manager picks the team, and that's the starting 11. According to Wally, we have loads of quality. His eternal optimism is starting to be delusion. The starting lineup is short on quality and disgraceful. That was from Travis Johnson. And Spartan N. Jones says, tactics are C3 for Leicester. We are going defensive first half and attacking second, but we should be using the youth for excitement. Look. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could pull off a masterclass today, and I hope he does. He's paid the big money to manage our football club. We're just fans who get paid nothing to watch our football club. So, hopefully it's wrong. T Mill says, is it Mata on the right? Just go quickly back here. I personally think you might see Pereira on the right and Mata in the more central position, but we've covered both bases for you on both screens. Bring Mourinho back? No way. Ollie out, Poch in, says Skeptic. Debbie Elder says Ollie out. It's too early. Look, of course you can have an opinion on the team. The game's not even kicked off yet, but it's way too early to be going Ollie out. We go with what we've got, of course. Leicester better not win, says Rick Muntz. So just to go through the Leicester team for you, I don't normally touch on the opposition, but I think there is an interesting thing to talk about with Leicester. It's not the midfield three of Ndidi, Tielemans and Maddison. Maddison's actually playing in a front three with Vardy and Damari Gray. So they've got real creativity in the final third, and they've brought Chowdhury into the midfield, who's very, very... I like Mohamed Chowdhury for Leicester, and he might be an eye-opener for some of you today. I can't see Leicester losing that midfield battle. And you know what? Matic bloody better turn up today. He better turn up today. Mark, Ollie should go back to Lapland in Norway and just be Santa's little helper, says Zayn Miassi. I think you've got your geography wrong, because I don't think Lapland's anywhere near Norway. As fans, we lost between Ollie and the board, says Owani. Burko says, predictions on where United will finish this season. I actually think I'll keep that back, Burko, for my match reaction, because I think this game is pivotal. He's picked his 11. He's picked the 11 that many of us predicted he was going to pick. It's not the 11 many of us would have gone with, but he's gone with boring, old, past it OAPs. And you know what? Even if we win today, and I hope we do, but even if we win today, I will still be sat there tonight, sipping on my bitter, watching a bit of Match of the Day, thinking, what a good result that is. But really, where are we going as a football club? And look, I'm not moaning here. I'm not stressed. I'm not ranting. I'm not negative. That's the only thing I can say to you lot. Where are we going as a football club when you look at that 11 on the left-hand side? Yeah, Dan James is a good player for the future. Hopefully Rashford will be as well. Obviously the back four is looking good when Luke Shaw's back. De Gea's going to sign a new contract. But the right-hand side, the midfield three, where's the future in that? I'm not convinced Scott McTominay's a very good player. But I'd play him because I see he could be one for the future. Matic and Mata, they're in their 30s. Ashley Young, they're in their 30s. And they're not very good either. So I do just look at the team and it does make me feel a little bit fed up, to be honest. Azus wants to see the bench. I'll show you the bench, mate. So the bench is down the left-hand side of the screen there. You've got Sergio Romero, Axel Twansibi, Phil Jones, Tahith Chong, Angel Gomez, Mason Greenwood and Fred. Some would argue, yet again, that bench is stronger than there's better players on the bench than there is in the starting 11, but we see that time and time again. And just to play devil's advocate, I must just say, what if Fred is crap? What if he's so crap in training that Ollie wants to pick him, but he still has to pick Matic because he's so bad? What if these youngsters aren't that good, and we're just hoping that they're good, but they're not that good? And the reason he's picking Mata and Matic and Pereira and McTominay is because they're the best he's got. You know, you just don't know, do you? But if that's the case, it just shows you what a terrible position we're in. And let's be honest with you, Juan Mata's had loads of opportunities in the last 12 months and he's barely delivered. Nemanja Matic has had loads of opportunities in the last 12 months and he's barely delivered. On its very basic level, without ranting or moaning or anything, how many more chances are these old-timers going to get? They've got no future because they're old and past it. They've had loads of chances and underperformed. How wrong is it to pick old, past it, underperforming players who've had loads of chances ahead of youngsters who can grow and be here for the next decade? I just think it's wrong. I personally just think it's wrong. You know, we've seen these players have so many chances and they're past it and they're given another chance in a new season. This new season was meant to be a new leaf and it's the same old nonsense. So, you know what? He better get a result today. He's got to get. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has put pressure on himself with that starting lineup because he's got to go and get a result. Alec Martin says Rashford and Pereira were crap against Southampton, so why doesn't he just try something different with Chong and Greenwood? Surely he knows the fans will be a lot happier if he plays the youth. I think also, Alec. The interesting thing as well is it's not just about the fans will be a lot more excited with the youth. It's also the case that we'd be more patient with the youth as well. I think we all agree with that. So yeah, 3-2 to Leicester. So let's just do that. Orlando Samuel says 3-2 to Leicester. Just smash your. That's not nakedness. It's like salmon. It's a tin of salmon. It's a tin of salmon shorts. It's salmon coloured shorts. Give us your score predictions in the live comments. 3 o'clock kickoff today, so it's not on in the UK. So I will have Dan joining me just before 3 o'clock. We will have it covered for you, don't worry about that. Every little bit of action we'll be reacting to. Ollie is tactical genius. He's going to bore Leicester to death and then run rides in the last 2 minutes when he finally brings on Greenwood, says Richard Stainer. Be interesting how he approaches today, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer gets accused of parking the bus a lot, doesn't he? But I don't think he is a park the bus sort of manager, so it's going to be very interesting to see how it goes. We've got over 10,000 people watching, and we've only just started on the stream, so thanks everyone who's joining us. Back from the international break now. Remember, United Stand live every night at 8 o'clock. Please do subscribe to the channel. We've got fan cams coming up after the game. Flex is up at the game. We've got Astana on Thursday in the Europa League. We've got West Ham. Then we've got Rochdale. Then we've got Arsenal. Then we've got another Europa League game. Then we've got Newcastle. So we've got lots and lots of points and lots of games to be playing in for. Still getting quite a few people going for a Manchester United win. Ishak Islam says that Manchester United are going to win 2-1, which is very, very, very interesting. And I hope that you're right with that, mate. I really, really do. Jay Kadaka says 2-1 to Leicester. Ishrak says 2-1 United. 2-2s. We've got a few 2-2s. A lot of 2-1s. We're losing today, says Flo. Play games. I think if Leicester what I would say, and we're not a Leicester channel here. If Leicester turn up and play to the best of their ability, I think they'll win. I don't think even if that team on our left plays well, I don't think it's good enough to beat Leicester if Leicester play well. I think Leicester have got a better team with a better coach and a better philosophy. At this moment in time, I think Brendan Rodgers is a better coach than Ollie. I think he's got a better philosophy and he's got a better team. So if Leicester turn up and play well, I think they'll win the game. But this is the Premier League. Not every team plays well away from home. Look at Arsenal. It doesn't matter how good you are. So Leicester have got to turn up and play well to win the game. If they don't perform well, United have got a chance. But I think if Leicester play to their best ability, we ain't got a team good enough to beat them. And I think Ollie probably knows that. That's why he's gone with experience again. Turbatoon says, don't understand all the moaning. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sold some rubbish. Impossible to sail in all in one window and bought in great players with bright futures. Fully trust him and looking forward, walking in the United way with him. A positive thing. I'm not going to come back on it because you're right to be positive, mate. And thanks for the contribution. Metal Music Review says, I love Ollie, but we are kidding ourselves if we think he knows what fans are saying. 2-2, Fred needs to be in for Matic. He at least chases the ball. Zayn Mayasi says, Mark, you should have spent the 130 million on defence on the midfield instead. And Alfie says, there is no way Matic is better than Fred. This coach is scaring me, Mark. We might end in the bottom 4 or 5 today. I don't know. I probably can show you. That is the league table on the screen for you. No, that's after 3 games. So ignore it. That's after 3 games. We're on 5 points and we're in 8th position. So look, conceivably, I suppose it could go worse, but let's focus on the game. Kartik says he's raging already. Try not to rage already. It is early days. And please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. We're going to try and get to 546,000 subscribers today. Bottom right hand corner. Subscribe to the channel. The United Stand, Manchester United's biggest fan channel on YouTube. We are live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got the fan cams. We do call-ins, match reactions, previews. It's going to be very busy over the next few weeks because there's so many games. Obviously, we'll have watch-alongs for all of those. So subscribe, get involved. Bottom right hand corner, please. Lingard is injured, Ray. And I've got to be honest with you, I'm glad. I don't wish injury on anybody. I didn't wish he was injured before he was injured. But the fact that he's out of this game, I think it's a good thing because I actually would rather see Pereira starting over Lingard or Mata starting over Lingard. And I'd rather see Gomez on the bench over Lingard. So I don't miss Lingard. I think we definitely miss Luke Shaw and Martial and Pogba, but I don't miss Lingard. The idea that the youth isn't better than Mata Matic is frightening, says the veteran trainer 88. I've said it before. I've said it before, and I actually will. I'm just going to tweet this out as well, and then we can discuss it. Solskjaer very brave with this lineup because he's got to get it right. 'Cause, 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 because if he doesn't, he's going to get a load of stick. And pelters as well. And failures. So yeah, he's got to get the win today. I actually think that, you know, we've sort of skirted around the issue over the international break, haven't we, about whether people should be Ollie in or Ollie out. And obviously I'm Ollie in. I don't think losing today would make me be Ollie out. But if he was to lose this game today, where is he going to go? You know, he can hide behind lack of spending in the summer, but he won't do that because he won't expose the Glazers, obviously. He's going to stick up for them. Welcome, Luke Bloomfield, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Remember, you can join the Members Club by just clicking the join button. You get access to our emojis and you get a little badge next to your name. But yeah, if he gets it wrong, if he loses today, you can hide behind lack of spending in the summer. Of course, you can hide behind the injuries. But the reality is, when it comes to it, the point is that he's gone with players that the fans are fed up with, like your Matic's. He's gone with those players over a new vision. So if we lose today, he exposes himself to a lot of criticism, because people will say, if we lose the game today and we lose the midfield, people will say you never should have picked Matic. He undermined you. He's been poor. He shouldn't have played. That's on the manager, isn't it? He could have played Fred and he chose not to do it. So he's got to get a result today, because if he doesn't, he's going to make himself look really, really poor and weak as a manager. If Rashford doesn't step up today, Ollie has no excuse not to drop him next week. He has been rubbish for ages. It's a joke. Big game for Rashford. Let's not forget that, says Jordan Such. And I think that's a great point from Jordan. We sort of we haven't even spoken about Rashford, have we? Should Marcus Rashford have started the game today? I want to come back to that. Friedman220 says, you haven't answered my question. How is Ollie qualified to manage this club? You told me it's too early for Ollie, but this is ridiculous, and he lies. Well, he's not qualified to manage Manchester United, is he? He's not qualified to manage Manchester United. Managing Mulder and being sacked by Cardiff and doing well for 3 months at Manchester United as a caretaker manager with no pressure is not qualification to manage one of the biggest clubs in the world. But there's loads of managers that have taken jobs and not been qualified. Zidane wasn't qualified to take Real Madrid. He'd just done a bit of youth stuff, just like Pep. So qualifications to do a job, you know, they're here, they're there. For every example of bad appointments, there's examples of people with lack of experience who've done well. The proof is going to be in the pudding, and that's what I choose to look at. I don't like what I'm tasting at the moment, but you know, we'll just have to see. I know that's a very vague answer, but you know, we're a very vague club at the moment. I think we are going to see McSauce do a lot of running, and Matic will sit deep to support the defence. Poorly so, says Metal Music Reviews. Matic will just... We are going to play defensive today. I think we're playing with two centre defensive midfielders. Will you be Ollie out if we get thrashed 3-0, says Fitness and Scripted Sharath Kamath. I won't be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out if we lose today. I won't. Ken Killian says, I would help you get to 546,000, but I've been here since 20,000, so I'll just give you $5 instead and hope James or Pereira get on the score sheet. Thanks, Ken. Really appreciate that. And well, what I wanted to say as well is, should Marcus Rashford have been dropped today? Ken and everybody else. Should he have been dropped today? Let me know. Let me know in the live comments. It's interesting. I spoke about Rashford over the international break, and I said the problem is he played awful against Southampton and it was fresh in everybody's head. We've now had an international break. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, and suddenly Rashford's not on the agenda to being dropped. Also Martial's not fit. I personally would have played Rashford today, even if Martial had been fit. I would have played him on the right-hand side with James on the left and Martial up front. But I do understand people's frustration with Rashford. And Ollie realistically doesn't trust the youth, so Rashford was always going to start. So for me, it's not even a conversation that I can really see. Rashford needed to start, says Damien Day. A lot of people saying they would have dropped him, a lot of people saying they wouldn't. Anti-Pancake577 says no because Martial is out. And Ken Darley says that Ollie is a liar and everybody can see it now. And Mega Controller 26 says I would have dropped him and played Mason Greenwood. I think Mason Greenwood, to be honest with you, is somewhat unfortunate not to be starting today. There is the starting 11. I think it will be Pereira on the right-hand side and Mata in the midfield, but I've got it as Mata the other way around on the main screen. But the bench is probably the most exciting area. You know, Twan Sebi, Tahith Chong, Angel Gomez, not you, Phil Jones, Mason Greenwood and Fred. So it is an exciting bench. I just think one or two of those players should have been in the starting lineup. I mean, you look at that team there, right? You look at that team there. I take Matic out and I put Fred in. I take Mata out and I put Gomez in. And suddenly we are enthused, excited and passionate and going, come on, Ollie, this is it. You're building something. It doesn't matter if we lose today, as long as we start building something. Whereas today, now with that starting lineup, we're actually sat there going, well, look, if we do lose today, I'm sorry, you're going to get pelters because you're not building anything. You're picking the same old crap. Would Andreas not be right wing and Mata on the number 10, at least Chong and Gomez on the bench, says William Smith. Yeah, I think that's the way. I'll change it to, I will change this one at kickoff if that's the way it goes. But I think that's the way it might go, yeah. Mohin Pat says, Mark idolises the ground that Rashford walks on. You obviously haven't been watching when Rashford takes a free kick, have you? LFC Mane says you're going to lose. Liverpool fans, if we've got any Liverpool fans in here, you don't belong here. You don't belong here. I hate to say this, but we are not in the same city. You know, that's a bad statement. I mean, we're not in the same page or book or postcode as you. You know, I don't. You were winning 2-1. I don't know what the final score was in the Liverpool game. If someone wants to tell me, but we, you know, the Liverpool rivalry. It's sad. All we are is there to be bantered by Liverpool. We're not. We've got nothing we can say. We've got nothing we can say to Liverpool. Nothing. They're miles ahead of us, and that's the case. I mean, look. You know, let's be honest. If anyone wants to come back on that, mobile app called Live Football Plus to watch, says Echo NR. With regards to Leicester City at Old Trafford, who would have thought we'd ever be sat here going Leicester City are favourites? 3-1 to Liverpool it was, thank you. Who would have thought we'd be sat here actually saying Liverpool are the favourites to win, not Liverpool, Leicester are the favourites to come and win this game. Leicester have got a better team than us, and that's the reality, isn't it? Newcastle definitely didn't win 3-1 because I know it was 2-1. I'm just messaging Drawty. He's not happy with the team. I'd be amazed if I got a tweet from any United fans saying, really happy with that lineup, think we've got a chance. And Mad Marcus says, chance to play the youth, but he bottles it to play the same players who let him down. I think, you know, absolutely spot on. You know, sometimes a few words mean more than me gabbing on, and it's very, very true. You know, I'm just having a look on social media now, and there really is a frustration amongst the fans, and you know, I get it. I do get it. I mean, it's always very dangerous. It's always very dangerous to be looking at it like that when the game's not even kicked off yet, because obviously the kickoff is going to be relevant, and that's what we're looking at, and the final result's going to be relevant, of course. But I don't know. I just worry. I do worry. But you know what? It's 11 against 11. It is at Old Trafford, and you just don't know. You just don't know what's going to happen. So we could get a result. But as I've said before, my big problem is, and I'm going to answer this question. Director says, "Well, who would you play, Mark? Options are limited." And I love that comment, Director, and I will read it, and I have read it, and I will answer it. So for me, how would I have done things differently? Let me just go back to the starting 11 page, because to be honest with you, I think options are limited. What's on the bench and what's there is what you've got to go with. So my team in this game would have been Mata to the bench and Matic to the bench. I would have put Fred next to McTominay, and I would have put what would I have done? Let me just think. Yeah, I would have put Fred next to McTominay. I would have put Gomez where Mata is, and I would have played Greenwood where Pereira is. That's what I would have done. So I would have made 3 changes: Matic, Mata, and Pereira on the bench, with Greenwood, Gomez, and Fred in there. So 2 youngsters and somebody I think deserves a chance. That's what I would have done. What would you prefer? What would you prefer? Would you prefer that 11? Or would you prefer my 11 with Fred, Gomez and Greenwood in there? Some of you might disagree. Some of you might say, well, that's ridiculous. You start in Gomez, who's not really started games in a massive game. Fred's a flop and Greenwood's too young. But I would have done that. And my argument for doing it is, yeah, we might not win the game, but 1, we'd find out how good these players are, and 2, we'd finally start building something. And that's what I want to see. I want to see Manchester United starting to build something soon. And at the moment, we've got a really, really big injury crisis. So why would we not do it? Why would we not do it? United Stand has got 11,000 viewers at the moment, says Mr. Beast. Thank you, mate. Your lineup is spot on. I would keep Mata though, says Yusuf Fairs. I mean, the problem with Juan Mata is that he is a player that can't play longer than 70 minutes. So Mata will come off in this game. And I suppose the positive is Mata will come off. So we are going to see Fred, Gomez, Chong or Greenwood after 70 minutes. The problem is, will the game be out of sight by then? Boss Euro says, Mark, why don't you get a real studio? You'll generate enough money, I think. Go United 3-1. It is something we've discussed, to be honest, mate. I don't know though. I quite like this sort of setting and that, but a real studio it would be nice, I suppose. Slabhead Goldbridge says Lang Rooney 35. I don't know whether to say that a compliment or not. Ollie's terrified to drop established players. He's clueless, he's thick and going to get himself sacked and see fans turn on him, says Jordan Finley. Is this formation confirmed? Says Will. The formation isn't confirmed yet. I personally think that this is the formation that you're going to see, with Andreas Pereira on the right-hand side and Mata playing more centrally. The positives, and look, we must talk about the positives, of course. The positive is Dan James is playing absolutely fantastic at the moment. The positive is Wan-Bissaka's back. He's playing fantastic at the moment. And then I think you move into uncertainty, don't you? Even with De Gea, we move into uncertainty. Lindelof, uncertainty. Maguire, I think he's been good. McTominay, 50-50. Matic, a worry. Mata, a worry. Pereira, a worry. Rashford, a worry. Ashley Young, a worry. We need... I think Dan James, Wan-Bissaka, no problems. They're playing really, really well at the moment. The other 9 players, we need at least 6 of them to have a good game today. And that's a big step up for 6. You've got 9 players and you want 6 of them to have a very good game to have a chance of winning today. That's a big expectation for 9 players that have been a bit inconsistent. Matic and Young and Ollie out, says Akhtar. There are no positives, says the equaliser. Well, come on. There's no need to be negative. There are positives. Dan James, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I actually think if Wan-Bissaka had not been fit today, we would have been in big, big trouble. Pereira and Mata are playing for set pieces, says Peter Squire. And Ben Goodman says that, can Gomez play on the wing? Yes, remember he scored that goal in Australia from the left-hand side. Fitness Unscripted, Sharath Kamath says, please don't get a studio, at least till we are champions again. I don't think the neighbourhood will be happy when you shout after opposition scores. And the veteran trainer 88 says, I agree with what others have said. What is Ollie's vision? He seems all over the place. Youth, he says, but starts the dinosaurs. Thoughts on the lineup, Mark? Matic going forward, says Luca FLG. Well, I you know what? I haven't said this yet, but I think we all know it. My feeling is, and make sure you smash a like on the video, everybody. I'm a little bit superstitious. 2,000 likes. I think we might win. Pre-match, Ollie made a mistake of saying getting a point is good before correcting. Then the oldest thing, it isn't brave enough, and I'm afraid he isn't smart enough also. Management, our team are at their worst. That's from Avishek Chatterjee. And another disappointing lineup, says Beza, but let's see how we get on. We all remember PSG. Hopefully Ollie makes the subs early enough for the youngsters to get out. Look, the point I was going to make there about how we're going to play today, to me, and I'm sure everybody, like I said, has figured this out as well, for me, it is absolutely obvious that we are going to sit back and try and hurt them on the break with pace. And that pace is really Dan James and Rashford, because Pereira and Mata are not fast. So Matic and McTominay are going to sit in front of the back four. We're going to soak up pressure, I think, and try and hurt them on the break like we did against Chelsea. I would almost guarantee that possession stats will lose. Shots on target will probably lose again. But doesn't mean we'll lose the game. I think the plan is to counter-attack. And remember Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's philosophy. Paul Robinson's going to get a shout out from the moderators again. Thanks for the contribution, Odemail. I think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's philosophy is to play a brand of football that is on the front foot and is also high intensity, move the ball quickly. We won't be doing that today. We haven't got the players to do that. So I think what we'll be doing today is trying to hit them on the break. Metal Music Reviews says, Ollie just said that Matic is chomping at the bit to play, partly why he picked him. If I don't see hunger this game, I'll swim from Australia and uppercut Matic. Well, we don't condone violence on this channel. Look, what I would say is Matic better have a good game today. I'm not going to say he's going to have a bad game because that's too presumptuous, but he better have a good game because he doesn't deserve this opportunity. And you know what? Even if he does have a good game, he's done. He's done. He's like a piece of toast that's been in the toaster for too long. He's well done. He's finished. And he might be able to have a sporadic performance here and there, but I've watched him for 18 months in a United shirt and he's been pretty crap for 18 months. And I don't see where he's going to get better. I mean, he might have a renaissance for a game or two, but in the longer term, he's done. He's consistently not good enough. And I don't see him getting any better, but I hope he has a good game today. I think we would play a diamond with Mata false 9 and Rashford up and DJ up front, says Agbeli Kaladi. Well, we could do that, but Daniel James isn't a forward, so I don't know how we could play in a front two. And I you know what, I would be disappointed if we did go with the diamond as well, because that only feeds into what the previous comment was about his tactics are all over the place. Like, why would you start the season playing a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 and then go to a 4-2-2-2-2 or a 4-4 diamond 2? You know, I'm all for changing tactics for oppositions, but I'm not all for changing tactics because something's not working. It spreads confusion into the squad. Brandau says, what do you think of Teden Mengi, centre-back from the under-23s? I think he can be class when he's older. And why on earth are Angel and Mason not starting? Brandau, we've got a lot of good players coming through. That's all I can say about any youth player at Manchester United. But if they don't play, they don't play. Fitness Unscripted, Sharath Kamath says, I'm sure we're playing a defensive 4-2-3-1 today. McTominay will be man-marking Maddison. That will make us even more defensive. Yeah, The thing is, and I don't take this positively, but the thing is, what if United defend well today? What if we sit very deep with Matic and McTominay in front of the back four, protect the back four? Because remember, Ashley Young is an absolute liability at left back. So you can't leave Young one-on-one with his right winger. Somebody's got to help him out. So I think we'll be getting numbers behind the ball. Maybe we'll shut Leicester out. It won't... What you've got to remember is, Leicester are a good team, right? A lot of people are expecting Leicester to win this game. But Leicester will not be used to coming to Old Trafford and playing against the United side that sits back. They won't be used to that. It's going to be like... This for Leicester is going to be like playing Burnley away, where Burnley sit back and try and hurt you on the break. Leicester will not be used to that in front of 75,000 fans. It's going to be a weird game for Leicester. I think Leicester would like an early goal because the United can't sit back then. It's weird. It's very weird. I think supporting Manchester United at the moment is weird. It's very weird because we don't we're in uncharted territory. We're getting worse. We're in a bad situation. We've got a board that are just clueless. I'm clueless as to what their plan is, and we know the weakness of the midfield. And here we are playing Leicester City in the 5th game of the season. Now, normally, after that four games we've had, on the international break, we'd be, I can't wait for that game against Leicester because we desperately need 3 points. I remember bad starts for United under Sir Alex. And you'd like, I can't wait for that game after the international break to come back. We need to start getting 3 points. Then I need another 3 points and another 3 points. We've had a bad start to the season. We've got Leicester at home. And we're basically going to try and get a point. It's weird. It's a weird situation. And I think Leicester might find it weird themselves, rolling into Old Trafford and seeing a team sit back against them. And reality is, who's out really? Who's injured really? I mean, you're telling me that Manchester United can't function without Martial and Pogba. They're the 2 players that are missing, really. Don't come at me with Lingard being out makes a difference. He's been awful. Luke Shaw, a lot of you think he's crap. So the 2 players that matter, that are out, are Pogba and Martial. They're out and our team has to go defensive at Old Trafford. It's weird. Weird times. Welcome Sean C, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. And T-Rex Go Get It says, Ollie is barbecuing on thin ice. Playing old bums equals most win. Playing youth equals happy fans and no pressure. We the fans got in the job. We want to see the kids. I mean, that's a very good comment, isn't it? By T-Rex Go Get It. The fans demanded Ollie got the job. We did. We demanded he got the job. I don't think Woodward and the board dared not give him the job because we demanded he got the job. And now he's got the job. What's he doing with that job? Is he respecting the fans that wanted him to get the job? I wouldn't say he's disrespecting them, but he's certainly not doing what we expected he was going to do. Do you think Lindelof could do this CDM role? Says Ryan FTW. Well, he's not. He's clearly not, is he? So it's a bit by the by, to be honest. But Usman Mahmood says, Mark, don't know if Pereira will take spots at Peters because against Southampton, James was taking corners instead of Pereira. Did Pereira start against Southampton? I've heard a couple of people say that, and I've sort of wiped Southampton from my mind. But Mata started, McTominay started, Pogba started, Lingard didn't start, so it must have been Pereira, Rashford and James. Yeah, and he played badly. You're right. He played badly, didn't he? I mean, look, that is why, if I go back to the starting 11 here, people said, well, what would your team be? I would put Pereira, Matic and Mata on the bench, and I would play Fred, Gomez and Greenwood. Matic and Mata because they're past it. I wouldn't pick them. And Pereira because, again, he played very badly against Southampton. So why does he deserve to start? And I think this is the frustration that everybody has. The frustration is these players that he's gone with today don't deserve to start. Matic doesn't deserve to start. He's had enough chances and he's been rubbish. Mata doesn't deserve to... Well, Mata maybe does. He did all right against Southampton. Pereira doesn't deserve to start. He was rubbish in the last game. So you're rewarding failure and you're not rewarding people who deserve a chance. Today we have Mata and Pereira for free kicks, so Rashford to go to bed or we will riot. Also for me, this is the last time Ollie can pick these smugs pensioners. Well, we'll see. I personally thought that last season was the last time we were going to see some of these pensioners, but we still keep seeing them, don't we? So, okay. Does the show... we will not show you the actual game, Matthew Lacose. You can't watch Manchester United or any other team on YouTube. It's totally and utterly illegal. But what we will do is we will be keeping you up with the game and telling you what's going on. Hey, Mark, where do you watch the game? Says Big Maguire. So we've got Dan coming on, who's over in America. And I say this every bloody week. I say this every time this happens. It frustrates the crap out of me how... You've got a massive game for United today. It's a massive game as well. It's not United versus bloody Brighton at Old Trafford. It's United versus Leicester. It's a 3 o'clock game on a Saturday. And these stupid rules that they have in place where you're not allowed to watch any football on UK telly between, I think, 2:30 and 5:30. So if La Liga put El Clasico on at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, we can't watch it. It's not even UK games. They cannot show any football between 2:30 and 5:30 on a Saturday afternoon in the UK. Yet you can live in India, Australia, Sweden, Mexico, America, and you can watch every single Premier League game. But our game, our national game, we can't watch it on a 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. It's bloody ridiculous. And you know why? Because they think if they don't put that on the telly, they think someone like me, who's not at the game today, will go and support bloody Walsall or something like that. No. Still going to watch Manchester United. Still going to listen to Manchester United, aren't we? Because that's who we support. They've got to stop it. I, personally, and I think Manchester United Football Club would love this as well, I would love to see a situation where every fan can buy a TV season ticket for their club. And I would happily pay 300 quid for that, to be able to watch every... MUTV shows every single Manchester United game. You pay 300 quid a season. I would do that. But, it's 2019 and you still can't do that. It's a disgrace, an absolute disgrace. Wait till Burnley come, says Bob Paddock. I'm glad we're playing Leicester today. I'm glad that we're playing Leicester today because I think if we'd been playing a crap team, we would have expected to win. And I think those sort of things are just, I don't want another Crystal Palace, to be honest. I think I'd rather play a decent team today, and that's who we're going to be playing. Okay, let's see if we can get Dan on shore. Hi Dan, you alright?
Yes sir, I am here. How are you, bud?
I'm good, thanks. I'm just going to fly in straight away and ask you what your thoughts are on the actual team news for the game today.
Sad, but honestly predictable because it's a must win. The boss goes on and on about the young players having to step up and be ready, but he doesn't trust them. So, if I was running the show, I would rather trust these players than the ones we have out there. But I'm not. So
it is interesting because I look around the live comments and everybody, and it's exactly that. It's exactly that. I don't think there's very little. There's very few people who are not agreeing with the fact that that people are frustrated with that team today, and that is disappointing. It is disappointing that Ollie, the new manager that we all wanted, has sort of left people down.
Yeah, absolutely. And just from my perspective, he must feel massively disappointed, and that's, I think, a dangerous road to go down because you have these guys that you keep talking up, him in particular, saying that they're ready and all this, and then a perfect game comes into play, them like Lingard being out injured, and now you're gonna have somebody on the right wing who's not a right winger, and he's still on the bench. So I think sometimes not playing these guys is just as big as a hit to their confidence as playing them and them not doing so well.
So, how are you feeling about the game? Do you think that this is a game that United are going to win? Can you see us getting a draw, or be honest? Because there are some. I feel that Manchester United will get something today. I have said that a few times. I think United will get. Sorry for people with the audio. For some reason, mine's just gone up. I noticed that myself, but I do feel that Manchester United are going to get something today. That could be a win or a draw. What about you, Dan?
I'll be honest with you. I have a funny feeling that we're going to scam a 1-0.
Yeah.
Just because with this lineup, you kind of almost expect that to happen, and then next week, Matic is back in the starting lineup for the next month and things like that. Also, too, Leicester are kind of due a bad performance. They've played pretty well all season. They haven't put in a bad performance yet. So
unbeaten, aren't they so far?
Yeah. If you get one of those cocktails. A 1-0 win could happen, but if they show up, I think we'll lose 2-1. So it's going to be tough to say. First 10 minutes you'll be able to see how this one's going. So,
well, I do agree with you on that one because the point is that with regards to Leicester, I was talking this a few minutes ago. They will not be used to coming to Old Trafford as favourites, potentially playing a United side that's going to sit back. And it's not Arsenal, it's not Chelsea, it's not Liverpool, it's not Man City who are used to going to Manchester United. This is Leicester, and I know they won the title a couple of years ago, but it's a very, very big step up for a team that a lot of people like Leicester. A lot of people have got a lot of respect for Leicester. They like their team, but they're not well versed in doing this sort of thing. They're not well versed in coming to one of the big top 6 sides as favourites and winning. So it's a big, big test for them to do that. Whether they can come to a 75,000 capacity stadium, express themselves and get something. Of course, the prize for them today is if they win, they're 6 points ahead of us, and 6 points is very significant after 5 games.
Absolutely, and we have harder games to come. We've played Palace and Southampton, and we are where we are. We're going to have to play Arsenal coming up and Liverpool and teams like that. So massive game today, absolutely massive game today, and I think that's why he went with quote unquote trusted players. But as you said so many times, you can't trust these players. So it's kind of it's an oxymoron, really. Yeah, the trusted players aren't the ones we could trust, and definitely the ones we don't want to see. So. Okay,
I'm just going to have a quick look at some of the comments here. United are a mid-table team now, says Prodigal. Well, we're not yet, but we might be after this game. Lingy's seldom injured, says Leslie Lai. And we've had a super chat from Zayn Miasi. Says, Mark, do you think Matic and Mata are undercover Chelsea agents sent to sabotage United? Look, the reality is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has gone with the team that he wanted to go with today, and that's all we can do. That's all he can do. And I wish it was different. I wish the situation was different. I wish Manchester United had gone a different way, but the point is that they haven't. They've gone with this, and we'll have to just get on with it. I mean, on Matic and Mata, what are your thoughts, Dan, really?
Well, to be honest with you, they shouldn't even be here at the club. They shouldn't even be up for selection. But I guess, when you're on at the club, there's always a chance you could get picked. And that's part of the problem. So I just don't see what Mata... I guess he's going to play in a 10 and they're going to put Pereira on right wing. But even still, Pereira's not a winger. I think a midfield of Pereira... McTominay and Fred could have done the trick, or put Pereira a little deeper with McTominay and play Gomes ahead of them. But I just, Mata just... They're not going to sit... The thing is that Leicester aren't going to sit behind the ball like Crystal Palace would. Crystal Palace was a good game to use Mata, and this one's not going to be. I think they're going to take the game to us, and why wouldn't they? They have the better team.
Yeah. Daniel Kennedy says, United players laughing, hugging Leicester players in the tunnel, embarrassing. And do let us know when it kicks off, because I know you're going to be ahead of everybody anyway, because it's you've got the actual game being shown over there, Dan. So please do let us know.
Yeah, sure thing. They're just about to get going now, so Leicester are going to kick off, and they just kicked off, so just started.
Okay. There we go. Time is up and running. So let's see how we get on. Manchester United versus Leicester. United are going to lose today, says the Crazy Gamer. Well, look, I hope that's not going to be the case. I hope United can get a result, because we bloody well need one. But it's going to be interesting as to how it goes in these first few minutes, and who is on the front foot, whether it is Leicester or United. I think Leicester probably will be on the front foot. If I'm honest with you, I think that they've got the they've got the better team. I think that's the problem, isn't it, Dan? It's the way they approach this game is key to how United approach it, really. Will United sit back? Will United go forward?
Yeah, absolutely. And as one of the comments just said, Young back as captain, and sad but true. But also, too, I think this game is to me, it's a big time catch-22, because if they win this game, that kind of justifies people like Mata and Matic being in the lineup. If they lose this game, I'll put a question to you. Do you trust him to change it and go with Greenwood and Gomez for the next game, or? Because honestly, right now I don't, and that's the worrying thing.
Yeah, I think he's set his stall out today, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, with the way that he's gone with this team, and I think that is very sad. Of course it is, but he's. Look, Mata can only play for 70 minutes, so at some point Juan Mata's got to come on, hasn't he? I mean, that's the bottom line.
Dan James just won a free kick right at the edge of the box, Mark, on the left-hand side. It's kind of in a I don't think it's in a good position to shoot. It's right on the corner of the 18-yard box, so I think that there's going to be a cross. Although our buddy Rashford's standing near it, which always gets me nervous.
This is the best team. The people in charge are playing. Maybe the youth in training have not proven themselves, says Sean O'Sullivan. How much has people seen of all this youth? So we've got a free kick early here. So who's on it, Dan?
All right, so looks like Rashford's walking away, thank goodness. And they have Pereira and Ashley Young are going to get behind it, and they should be crossing it in because it isn't a good area to cross it in.
So Pereira's on the free kick, which is good.
He's tried to shoot and kind of caught Schmeichel off guard there, who made a good save, and it's going to be out for a corner. And Schmeichel was a little slow to get up. He actually did try to shoot from there.
Thanks for the contribution, Danny Noon. And fan from Australia says, love the channel, mate. I enjoyed your coverage with the Kickoff Live covering the game. Any chance you're doing games live with other fan channels? Says Turner. I might do. We'll have to wait and see. But I may do.
Going to be a corner here. Let's see who's taking the corner. Ashley Young taking the corner. Maguire wins it and heads it back across the box and misses everybody. So it's going to be a Leicester goal kick. And Schmeichel looks like he's a little gimpy after that, because after he tipped it, he ran right into the post. So that's a good thing about having Pereira on set pieces. He does know how to put a ball in. So.
Well, yeah, I think Pereira is going to be very, very important in this game, especially if we can get someone like De Gea. Not De Gea.
Goes over the head of Maguire, bounces 3 times before Maddison hits it, and De Gea has to make a really good save and almost went through his legs.
A good chance for Leicester there from James Maddison, and an interesting start then, a bit end-to-end so far.
Tell you what, Lindelof's going to be looking at himself in the mirror after this game too, because Twanzibi's knocking on the door. That's bad.
Well, it's Lindelof again, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, it's a very good point from Dan there. Lindelof with the mistake, and a few people in the live comments talking about Lindelof. Hugo says he slipped, but to be honest with you, De Gea gets a lot of stick. It's a good save from De Gea, Dan. Very good save, because that was going right through his legs. Madison tried to put that right through his legs there, and man, that's, I know that some of the comments are saying that he slipped, but my goodness, I mean, this is every game now. A slip once is a mistake. A slip every week is consistently bad. Ray Carl says, I'm worried about this game. I think a lot of people are worried about this game today, Ray. And again, Lindelof, says Christian Howarth. Lindelof is awful, says Harry Stokes. Well, let me just go to the starting 11 for you. Would you say that Pereira is playing more to the right and Mata's playing more centrally? Or do you think Pereira is playing more centrally, Dan? I mean, that's something that people are talking about. I mean, this is how I think we've lined up with Matic, Mata and McTominay as the midfield 3, with Pereira, Rashford and James on the left. It looks like it's a 4-3-3.
Well, right now, Mata's playing on the left and Pereira's more so going through the middle and the right-hand side. So I don't know if that's going to change. Early on, in the first minute or two, Pereira was on the left. Mata was, on the right. Mata was coming down the middle. But now it looks like Mata's been kind of going more so to the left-hand side. Andreas is in the middle, and there's nobody on the right. So odd. Looking a little odd.
The bench is looking good, though. That's why I'd gone to that screen there. You've still got, obviously Twansibi. If Lindelof's feeling in, breathing down the neck, you've got Chong, Gomez. We'll ignore Phil Jones, Greenwood and Fred. But United, a few people in the live comments saying that United are giving as good as they got at the moment, and there's a bit of a talk about a penalty. I don't know what your thoughts are.
There is a penalty. Yep. Penalty here. So what happened was Pereira gets the ball out on the right wing. Wan-Bissaka got it. He plays in Pereira. Him and Chowdhury go for the ball. It's a 50-50, and the 50-50 falls for Rashford, who gets across Sanolu here, the Turk, and he falls.
Do you not think it's a bit soft, Dan? Because there's a lot of people in the live comments saying, what a dive. Is there an element of a dive there?
I think he's definitely going away from the goal, and I don't think there's any chance of him really even if he gets the ball, it's not going to be under control. So this is one of these ones. If we gave it away, I'd be.
This is what VAR's there for. They're not referring it back. They're not saying it's not a penalty. So soft or not, penalty to Manchester United. And let's see who will take it then. Probably, well, you'd want Rashford, wouldn't you? It's got to be Rashford.
Yeah, Rashford's taking it. I would have Mata taking it personally. He's excellent at penalties, but let's see.
Well, we need this.
It's going to be Rashford.
It'll be a very good start for Manchester United if they can get it. The ball is in his hands, I presume, Dan. You're going to talk us through this?
Yep, there you go. Good penalty, 1-0. Fantastic. Went low and to the keeper's right, and Schmeichel guessed the wrong way. So
there we go. Manchester United, 1-0 up. That's exactly what we needed. He's back, Marcus Rashford, and that's the sort of confidence we need from Marcus Rashford. You know, first 7 minutes, Manchester United 1-0 up. Harder than a wedding night stick too. Didn't hit it that hard actually. Just placed it nicely. He's grabbing the badge. He's kissing the badge. Look, he knows how to play the crowd. It's a penalty at the end of the day, mate. You should be scoring it. But the most important thing is Manchester United are 1-0 up, and that will, again, it's all about, we talk about ourselves, but it's all about how Manchester United manage this game, and it's all about Leicester, how they manage this game. And if you're Brendan Rodgers, you're going to be a little bit pissed off, Dan, about what clearly was a penalty, but a little bit soft and naive from a centre-back that I've had Leicester fans saying, he's better than Maguire. He's better than Maguire. Well, he clearly isn't. He doesn't know how to defend in the first 10 minutes when you're away from home.
Absolutely, and that's a massive goal to get, because at the other end, Maddison could have had a goal off the back of Lindelof's mistake, and De Gea made a great save. So just, fine margins always in this game. But, very good penalty. Important to put the last penalty miss behind him, and I think this is game 5. That's 4 out of the first 5 games we've had a penalty in. So looks like we're going to win our fair share of penalties this year. It's just going to be a matter of if we put them away.
Well, the thing is, you're right there. You've got to put the penalties away, because there will be a lot of penalties in the Premier League this year, just simply because there won't be any mistakes on them. So 1-0 to Manchester United. We've not even had 10 minutes gone yet. I said it was going to be a challenge for Leicester, and I also said, for all the negativity, and I agree with it, I've been there with you all. But what have I said? I said it on the preview. I said it last night, and I said it in the hour before the kickoff. I've got a feeling United are going to get something today. And at the moment, it's very early days, but it looks good. It's something to build on. And football is all about fine margins. And you know what? If Leicester feel hard done by, don't start saying that Turkish defender's better than Maguire. You get what you deserve.
Absolutely. The good thing is, though, to get the early goal, that's great and all. But the one thing I got to look at now is that they're going to come at us probably even more so than they would have at the start of the game. And just I know we like to play on the counterattack, but our midfield is real slow. And only really 2 could pass out here to Dan James. Hold on a second. Clips one into Pereira, just misses it and goes out for a goal kick. But, our Rashford and Daniel James apart, our forwards aren't too fast. So when they come at us, I think our counterattack is going to be a little slow. So
make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got fan cams for you after the game. What else have we got? We've got match reactions, previews. Very busy time for Manchester United at the moment. Very, very stressful time for Manchester United at the moment as well, as to how it's going to all pan out. But really, really good start from United. I don't think there's a United fan out there that doesn't want us to turn this round, doesn't want us to get 3 points today. It'd be massive 3 points for us today. And nobody wants to be dropping points at home to Leicester and being mid-table and the worst start to the Premier League season ever. We're just realistic to the fact that there's not a lot of trust in this team, but they can build that trust back. That's their job to do that.
Yeah, 100%. And I was saying earlier, it'd be very important to get that quick goal, and any way you could get the 3 points, let's get the 3 points. So. You just kind of want that perfect storm where you get the 3 points and you have the youth playing, but you can't get it all.
Brendan Rogers is writing down his Chinese takeaway order. Says someone in the live comments. He likes his pad. Does that, Brendan? What channel is it on in the US? Says Mark Dominic. I would guess it's NBC. Is it, Dan? Or
yeah. So if you guys have NBC Sports in the States, and you have the NBC Sports app, it'll be on NBC Sports Gold. So that's where it'll be.
I've got to read this come out. Bamidele Solomon says, I still believe Manchester United can lift that trophy. And he means the Premier League. Mate, you've got no chance. Even as a hardcore United fan, I can tell you that you've got absolutely no chance of Manchester United winning the league this year, and probably next year, and probably the year after that. The game's really fast, says Aubrey, which is good. You know, we don't know. But then again, I think people get this wrong. I think because we're not performing well, people think that Ollie plays slow, pedantic football like Mourinho and Van Gaal. He doesn't. Ollie does want to play fast football. That isn't in doubt at all. No offense, Dipanchi.
Just laugh. Yeah, I was just laughing at that. Yeah. Listen, fellas, I do get excited. I do, but when your wife's asleep and you can't whoop it up at all wee hours of the morning, sometimes you got to keep it a little bit reserved. Also, too, it's 12 minutes gone, so it's a long game.
I was about to say that. 1-0 to United. Rashford penalty for those who've joined late. There wasn't an element of softness to it. I think it was a soft penalty to give away. Definitely a penalty though. But yeah, silly defending really from this Leicester fan. Say he's better than Maguire. Well, I just don't agree. I just do not agree. But
Leicester are going to have a free kick here inside of our half, so it's a little far away from goal. So they're probably going to try to. Let's see here who's on this. Yeah, Madison's not taking it. I think Chilwell's taking it. So, and Maguire deals with that. Falls out to Ndidi.
Big United man says if we win the league, I'll do backflips. You've got to do more than that if United win the league, mate. I think you've got to at least run naked from Land's End to John O'Groats. Ain't going to happen anyway.
If they won the league, I'd eat my shoes on live air, and I'll enjoy it too. It'll taste good.
I don't know what I'd do, but anything, because it ain't going to happen. SK says some of the passing has been brilliant. We need to stay fearless when we are under pressure and play our game.
Yeah, listen. United are definitely keeping the ball well. Good throw in there to find Mata. And I will say this about Dan James. I know in the beginning of the season, in the preseason, we were saying that he, the final ball was lacking a little bit of quality. But I will say this: every week, his crossing has gotten better and better, which is really good to see from a young player. Usually that takes a little bit of time, but every week that he's been in the lineup, his crossing's gotten much improved. So
it was superb against Southampton. I thought he put so many good balls in, and I bet Solskjaer was absolutely furious with, as an ex-striker himself, with Rashford not making those moves. I've seen a few people in the live comments saying that United need to go and kill this game, which is, 2-0 probably would do it. Justice O says McTominay, Pereira have been very good, but God, Matic is shocking and Mata needs to retire. I think that's probably a little bit unfair, to be honest. It's very early days to be judging players. But, if United could find a result from this game today, what a result it would be. Because I still will stand by the fact that Leicester are a very, very, very good team.
I agree. I definitely agree. I think they have a fantastic midfield. I think a lot of their midfielders would get into most top four sides and start. If you take out Tielemans and you put him in some of these top four teams, like Arsenal, I think he'd start. I think Ndidi would start at most of them. I think Ndidi would start at Spurs.
I'd love to.
Mbele is not even starting today for Spurs.
I'd love to have Ndidi at United.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Fantastic.
The game, as it was Rashford who scored a penalty, early penalty for Manchester United inside the first 8 minutes. A little bit soft, but definitely a penalty, and United taking advantage of it. And to be fair, United so far have been moving the ball about fast. They've been in the game as much as Leicester. Leicester did have a good chance before the goal, James Maddison. But I said this in the build-up. It's one thing saying Leicester have got a better team than United, and I think they have. But they're not, and I know it sounds silly because they won the title recently, but they're not going to be used to being favourites against United at Old Trafford. It's a different type of pressure. I think if they're at home, they're going to fancy their chances. But going to Old Trafford as favourites, it's a mentality that they won't be used to. So, but I would love Ndidi at United. I think they've got two good fullbacks as well.
Chilwell's fantastic. Pereira is very good too, but we don't need him now that we have Wan-Bissaka. So
yeah. But very early days in this game. I don't think anybody's getting overexcited. It's too early for that at the moment. Spurs are winning 1-0.
Wan-Bissaka's got it on the left.
Oh, sorry.
Wan-Bissaka's got it on the right. Hold on here. Kind of playing it around the area, and Pereira loses it. And United are going to win it back. And now Matic has the ball. It's 40 touches. Passes it backwards. My man. Hold on. Rashford's just picked it up in a nice little pocket with some space. Just wouldn't quite set up for him. Pereira got the ball inside the area. It just wouldn't settle. But good stuff. They are trying to get forward here, United, which is encouraging. I will say this, though. It's almost 20 minutes gone, and apart from the penalty, again, there hasn't been one clear-cut chance, which I do worry about. I don't think we create enough chances.
Yeah, I agree with that. We don't create enough chances as a team, but we do get a lot of penalties. So
yeah, they're going to have another free kick here, so it's going to be on the right side, about I'd say about 30 yards away from goal, on the right side of the 18. Probably Ashley Young should take it because he's got a good delivery from there. So
Liam just said, I can tell by the look on Mark's face he's not happy we're winning. My God, why are people so bloody judgmental? Or it could be that we're playing a game that I'm very nervous about today, and we're 1-0 up after 20 minutes, and I don't think this game's over by any means. That's what it is, Liam. I ain't one of those fans who sits there after 20 minutes with the 11 we've got going, we're going to win 3 or 4-0. Maybe we will go on. Maybe we will. But I'm still pretty nervous about this game and the way it could go, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, same here. Ball just coming from Young, and Johnny Evans heads it away, so they're going to have a corner. But, I'm the same way, and that's why a lot of people in the comments are saying that I'm not excited. I'm very excited. I'd love to be up 1-0, but, it's a long game, and with this lineup out there, anything could happen. So never too high and never too low. Got to keep the 10 toes on the ground.
And I think United have started off very well, and we're definitely more in control of the game than Leicester at the moment. Zayn Mayasi says, Marcus Woodward, an agent sent to ruin United by a rival club. And what else? Danny Noon says, teenage Rashford came into the first team under Van Halen in an injury crisis and was on fire. We're in crisis now, so Greenwood needs to give him the same chance too. Well, Ollie, on that at the moment, the fans have got to sit down. Ollie will be like, look at me, I'm a genius. Everyone's moaned about my starting 11 against a very good Leicester side, and we're bossing them. But I did say that this could happen. I won't change my opinion on the team that he's picked today. I still think it's wrong, because at the end of the day, why shouldn't Matic and Mata and Young turn up for one game at Old Trafford? I think they can do that, but I don't see the future in it, was my point. I don't think that they're not going to do it game week in, week out, are they?
No, absolutely not. And your buddy Matic just passed one out of bounds, trying to find Ashley Young. Kicked it straight out. So that was about the most forward he's tried to pass the ball. It didn't turn out well. Leicester just settling the ball down now, about just over 20 minutes gone.
And I think, there is an element to the way Manchester United playing that may have caught Leicester on the hop a little bit, which is that United have played very tenacious and quick football and press to get the ball back, which, can they do that for 90 minutes? Probably not, but it's caught Leicester on the hop and it's allowed them to get a goal in front. Spurs are 2-0 up, apparently.
Yeah, and they're playing without Dele Alli's not playing, and Dembele is not playing, so looks like the fun's over for Palace. Their big moment's going to be beating us this year.
I just don't know. I just do not know how Spurs managed to lose at home to Newcastle, which is why I think a lot of people thought that Palace might get something today. But Sebastian Anderson says, we were 1-0 up against Wolves, we were 1-0 up against Palace, we were 1-0 up against Southampton, and we didn't win any of those games. We need to go and kill it. I think that's a very good point. Not the first time I've read 100%. That, actually.
100%. Damari Gray over here into the box, and Lindelof's done well to stand him up. See, Lindelof, I think, is a very good defender when the ball's in front of him and when players are coming at him and attacking him. But when that ball's in the air, boy, Oh man, uh, it's definitely nerve wracking watching him under the high ball for sure. And Leicester like to play that way, especially with Vardy. So
I do like Lindelof. I do like Lindelof. I think he's a good player. But I think you've hit the nail on the head there. His weakness is the ball over the top, and unfortunately, we've had a few of those this season, and they've led directly to goals.
yeah, and I think for other teams when they watch, if things aren't going so well on the ground, they know how to get at us. But Wan-Bissaka dealing with that one there, and comes out to Rashford, who tries holding it up, and he does hold it up, and there should be an advantage on here, and it's played on. And Mata's going sideways instead of going forward, and Rashford, I think, stayed down here. So
Spurs are 3-0 up now, apparently. 3-0 to Spurs.
Yeah, and I tell you what, when that lineup came out for the Spurs game, I was looking at no Ali and no Ndombele, and they're going with Lamela and Winks and Sissoko. I was kind of a little shocked there, but I guess they do have it. They probably have a Champions League game this week, don't they?
They will do, yeah. Good point there. Daniel James puts a decent cross into the box and nobody's there, but that probably is a lot to do with the fact that Rashford's injured, or was injured on the halfway line, I think, Dan.
Yeah, definitely. Rashford just won a free kick here. He's done well, actually, today, Rashford holding the ball up, and hopefully that international break might have gave him a little bit of rest, because I know they don't, they're not training the same, and, it's not the same type of physicality as playing Premier League games, so he does need a break, man. This guy's been playing football for about, for 3 years straight.
Scorpion Game Entertainment says, how did we lose to Palace? Yeah, well, did we score first against Palace? God, I try and ignore a lot of these games.
No, but McTominay's just giving the ball away, and Vardy's breaking here for Leicester. Maddison to Chowdhury. Back to Maddison. Good tackle by Ashley Young. Tielemans was about to get the ball at his feet, and Ashley Young took it away, but that all came from a bad McTominay pass, gave the ball right away. Comes Rashford, lay off to... Rashford tried a little backheel to Mata, and he just miscontrolled it on Mata, which you almost never see. And McTominay just went steamrolling through Ben Chilwell and absolutely just destroyed him.
You'll get a few cheers for that. Justice O says, the only players giving the ball away are our experienced players, Mata and Matic. At this rate, they need to be out at half-time. Shocking. Would you say that, people in the live comments? I don't know.
Who needs to be out at halftime?
Matic and Mata. I mean, I just think they're going to be targeted because people don't want them to start. But I don't.
I think when Mata's played fine, especially for this game. I was a little worried about him because I thought that having them come here, they're not the type to sit behind the ball. So I thought that was going to be a little bit of a worry. But getting the early goals kind of opened them up, which gives him more freedom to go forward. So he's playing well. Matic, I mean, you're going to get what you're going to get, which is not much. He's just there to basically clean it up and make sure it doesn't get to the back four, and then pass it 3 yards in front of them. So
Craig Warby made just a very good comment in the live comments there. He said, look, we've just got to take every game at a time this season and just hope for the best. And look, Craig's you're very right. I'm a concerned United fan just like everybody else. I can openly admit that. But what I would say is we can't lose games. We've got to start winning games. I don't believe we're a mid-table club. I certainly think anybody who thinks that we'd be in the bottom half is crazy. We're a top 6 club. But you've got to start winning games. And today is a game that you've got to win. You've got to beat Leicester at home. This ain't Man City or Arsenal or even Chelsea or Liverpool or Spurs. We're on fair play. We've already beaten Chelsea at home. But you've got to win your own games. And I don't care how good Leicester are. We've got to be winning these games.
Yeah, for sure, especially after the points that we've dropped already. So that's the big thing for me. I was just looking a little bit at the schedule today, and I was thinking, man, some of these teams we're going to have to go away to. We're going to have to come to, got to go to Anfield still and places like that, and they have to come to us. And, losing at home to Palace and dropping points at Saints. And, just can't be doing that. So now, like the comment said, every week, just got to take it 1 week at a time and just hope you're getting the 3 points.
A lot of people in the live comments are saying Matic and Mata are done.
Yeah, but they were done before this game, so
Yeah.
you know, I don't look at this game and go, oh yeah, they're finished. They've been finished. So Pereira's actually done quite well on that right side. I'm not gonna front. I don't like him as a winger, but he's done really well tracking back.
Well, look, the reality is we're 1-0 up, and if Matic and Mata aren't playing well, then the rest of the players must be doing well, because you can't carry that many players. I mean, the thing with Matic and Mata is they're just not very quick as well, are they? So this game has been quite quick, and they're not quick players. So, but what I would say about that is what we said before. Ollie has chosen to go with Matic and Mata over what the fans want. The fans, I'm sure most people would like to have seen Fred play, and I think Fred would suit a game like this. But he's gone with that. He's gone with that. Daniel James is down, apparently down.
Yeah, he just took a little bit of a knock. It wasn't a free kick or anything. I think it was just a coming together, but I think he'll be all right.
Well, it'd be good for United to get to half-time 1-0 up. I know there's still 15 minutes or so to go until that, but little steps, like Craig Warby said, can be big steps, and half-time 1-0 would be certainly not what many people had predicted. So not a lot of people would expect us to be 1-0 up at this point, including United fans. But
yeah, well, I was just reading a comment there from Jags, and he said it's funny that McTominay's better at long passes than short passes, and I noticed the same thing, and I think Pogba's the same way, and I think it has a lot to do with their height. Because it's tough to get the ball out of their feet in tight spaces, but when they have the legs to stretch out and hit the long ball, they more and more often than not they get it right on the money.
Dan James isn't injured; he's up and running. A lot of people get saying that McTominay's actually played quite well. He's given the ball a couple of times, but look, you know what? This is real life football. I think people make a mistake and give the ball away, and everyone's like, oh, they're crap, and they remember that, but. I grew up watching Keane and Scholes and Butt and Fletcher and people like that, and they do give the ball away in games. It does happen.
Yeah, Chowdhury into the box here, and a good tackle by McTominay to concede a corner. It was a shot by Maddison from a distance, and it came all the way out to Chowdhury. Pereira didn't close down, and he just dribbled it all the way into the box. And now they've won a corner, Leicester. So. It's 30 close to 30 minutes gone.
It's interesting with McTominay, because the one thing he does do that I think everyone likes McTominay for is the effort's there. I mean, sometimes the performance isn't there, but the effort's there, and because we've got a team of players that don't portray that, I'm not saying they're not trying, but the effort from McTominay sort of embarrasses a lot of players, I think.
Oh, good save by De Gea. Absolutely fantastic. Ball comes out to Chilwell off a corner. Sits up perfect for a volley, and he hits one of these ones where he's kind of like we've already hit it at Liverpool, against Liverpool, where it's looping down, and just a hit. It was right at him, but he tips it right over the bar. It was a really good save. Good save, very good save.
Another corner. De Gea's actually made. I mean, that goal would have been speculative. It's not really a clear-cut chance like the Maddison one, isn't it? But United, apart from the penalty again. No real chances, no chance created apart from the Rashford.
No, here goes Dan James. Here goes Dan James down the wing.
Go on.
Just can't get past Chilwell. Chilwell's got some recovery pace to be able to catch up with him.
Very, very good player. Very, very good player. And I mean, Dan James is lightning, isn't he? So if he's keeping up with him, it's. He's a good player. A lot of people would want Ben Chilwell at Manchester United. Very, very good player.
Damari Gray and down the right-hand side.
It's feeling a little bit ominous at the moment, isn't it? I'm not saying we're out of the game, but that next goal, you feel if we concede, Leicester's got momentum. If we score, we probably... Well, you wouldn't expect us to lose from that position. We're probably going to get a positive result.
Oh yeah, and now this is I think the second time they've come down the pitch and they've won a corner. So a lot of times when you're watching, this is how it starts. There's a little bit of a build up,
yeah,
and then they're starting to come into it a little bit. So and they do have some decent headers of the ball that could hurt us here. And Diddy scores on corners quite a bit actually just went over his head. It's back out to Maddison. Tillemans with the ball in. Matic heads it straight up. Pereira can't get it away, but Chowdhury kicks it out for a Man United throw-in. Looks like Fred's warming up for Tuanzebe, and Chong was just warming up.
Reacting to Chilwell virally like that, Leicester City fan, says Dipanshu Kumar. Dipanshu's got it in for you, hasn't he? I think the mods need to sort him out. But what was I going to say? Yeah, the issue we've got is we're 1-0 up, which is great. But as we've seen, if anyone joins us for all the watch-alongs, United just don't create enough chances. And De Gea maybe in today's form might be able to keep a clean sheet. But we're going to need a clean sheet to get 3 points at the moment because we're not creating any chances. So, Nathan Phelps says they're all over us. I just don't, at the moment, and maybe today's the day where we change that, I don't trust this United side to get a clean sheet.
Yeah, well, against a team like this, because they have such good players going forward, Maddison and Vardy and Tamari, Gray, Tillemans, they could all score, and they're all good at getting the ball into the box. So it's just going to have to.
I'll be back in a moment.
Gonna have to.
Let's go and pop up. Literally.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Jason Marshall, no second goal, no 3 points. I'm gonna have to agree with you there. I think we're gonna need more than one. McTominay almost finding a way through. Chris Bendel, January we need players. We do need players, but I don't trust this board to get players in January. It's not just something they do. They just don't do that. Leicester with a quick free kick inside our half, but it's brought back.
Back out. Zayn Miasi says, Mark, it's time to convert to the light side from the dark and support Arsenal, as I know Yoda was a gooner. Mate, there's one club I'm never going to support, and that's Arsenal. Apparently... got this one right as well, Dan. I'm really happy about this. Can you still hear me?
Yes, sir.
So, this is I've had a theory on this. I said Wolves are not that good this season, and Chelsea are going to go to Molineux, beat them, and show what a crap result it was for us there. And what is happening? Chelsea are winning 2-0.
Yeah, I think that Wolves are going to have a big hangover this year from being in Europe.
I thought that draw at the Molineux was a crap result for us. But everyone's shut up, you're being negative. Not many teams will get results at Wolves. And I've watched Wolves a few times this season, and I think, like you say, because of the Europa League, they're not that good. And Chelsea 2-0 up in half an hour at Molineux. It flies in the face of this, they're really good. And Joel Morris, thanks, said that.
Yeah, no, I think they're going to have a tough time because, the players that they haven't been in Europe. Bar Jimenez, I think he's been there with Benfica, but they don't have a very big squad, and that's probably more important than anything. They really don't. They don't even have a rotating 11 to alternate with Europe. But and they did have a lot of players out on internationals, which Wolves would never have had 5 years ago. So
yeah. Well, yeah, there's a feeling, as I said just before I popped off. Let me just read this comment from Mark Rollinson. Says 1-0 half-time is dodgy after our previous showings. Well, a really good buzz to the start of the game with Manchester United going 1-0 up, but and James XX97 says kill the game now. I mean, you can't kill the game if you aren't creating chances, and we're not creating chances, are we, Dan? Let's be honest, we're not. We've been good in the tackle, we've shown a lot of effort, but we aren't creating chances, and this is the same thing all the time.
Got Dan James on the ball here, and he skips past Ndidi, but Ndidi's won the ball back. Dan James lost it at his feet. Yeah, no, I mean, that's what I was saying before.
Very similar feel to the Chelsea game, actually.
Yeah, gotten a bunch of penalties this year, but haven't created many chances. So, and actually going back to last year, Chelsea game apart at the opener of the season, wasn't McTominay's goal one of the last ones from open play?
Yeah.
And then this year, Martial, and then we scored 2 penalties. Gotta definitely create more chances, but I think we'll start creating more chances when we get some better players out there. I think if you had Gomez and Greenwood in this team, we would have created more chances already.
Yeah. There is a very similar feel to the Chelsea game on the opening day, and what I mean by that is that we could still go and win 2-3-0, but we're basically hitting a team on the break at Old Trafford, and the better team is Leicester. The better footballing team is Leicester. Don't know what's Matic doing, actually, Shisham Sundar Singh. We haven't seen a lot of Matic, have we? Well, I've not heard a lot of Matic either. Pereira's doing all right. I think Marley Perry, that's what you said, Dan. But Matic just doing what he's meant to do, really. Plod around in the midfield, just in front of the back four.
Yeah, he hasn't had much to do. So, as long as he goes unnoticed, then he's doing his job. Like I said, hasn't had much to do. He's made 1 or 2 passes, and they didn't find anybody. So I guess that's pretty poor. But other than that, I mean, no mistakes yet. But there's still a lot of the game to play.
Liam Jones says that Mata's not offering anything either.
Tielemans out wide to Damari Gray. It's blocked out by Ashley Young, I think. Or did he just... no, Damari Gray kicked that out, so it's going to be a goal kick. But Tielemans was just on the ball facing our back forward, and he had tons and tons and tons of space. So a little bit of a worry.
Rashi's class if you give him the service. Curtis, you've put that comment about 50 times, and you've sort of drawn me in. But Rashford isn't class if you give him the service, because against Southampton he got loads of service and didn't read it. So Alexei Stalanu says, well, thanks for the contribution. Young's been good today, says Mohit. He's been steady by the sounds of it. He is the weak spot in that back four. Nothing's really coming down the Wan-Bissaka side, which is what you would expect. Boring game.
Yeah, I mean, they've had some... Yeah, I was just gonna say. I just saw that comment too. Boring game, and
I'll take boring game if we win 1-0.
Absolutely. From our perspective, we haven't done enough going forward. I think Leicester been better on the ball and better going forward, but even they haven't really created much apart from the Maddison chance and Chilwell's volley. Other than that, it's kind of been a little back and forth in the midfield. So.
Udit Bitnaga says Lindelof's reminding me of Jones. Mata can't run 40 yards with the ball like Pogba, and like Pogba getting criticised at 60 minutes, we will concede. I would take this score now. I don't think there's a United fan on the planet who wouldn't take this score right now, because if you're expecting to win and play well, I think that's too greedy. It's just about winning, isn't it? 3-0 to Chelsea. Bloody hell. But I did predict they would win. I didn't predict 3-0. I just knew that Wolves result was a crap result. We need to bring on Gomez, says JJ Fox 47. These young players have a chance to step up, and then he plays Mata and Matic, says Biyakov. We are winning, everybody. I know. I just must reiterate to everyone who's been negative. We are actually winning this game at the moment. I understand the trepidation and the concern. We're not creating any chances, and it's a penalty that's put us in front. But we are winning at the moment. No, Matic has made many mistakes, missed passes, bad clearances, skinned twice by Maddison and once by Gray. We watching the same game, says Justice O. There you go.
Well, I'm not focused on just watching one player, I'll tell you that. So I guess he's just watching, Matic play today. But
you can if you want to be critical about a player, you can be critical about a player. It's like that person who just said Ashley Young's played well. But Leicester have attacked quite a lot down his side as well. So you could say, well, yeah, you might think he's played well, but actually, possession-wise, United, it's about 50-50, which is surprising because it sounds much like it's Leicester. But 4-0 to Spurs as well. There's plenty of goals going in today. It's going to be a good match of the day if United win.
Young just headed out for a corner, so Maddison's going to be over to take. Yeah, 4-0 Spurs, and we couldn't beat Palace at home. Sad.
Well,
all right.
There's a couple of embarrassing results today, isn't there? Because Spurs smashing Palace 4-0 at half time, and Chelsea smashing Wolves, and we lost and drew in those games. So it only shows you what I actually do genuinely fear with United is that those results will come back and bite us. I think the Wolves one was shocking. We never should have drawn that.
It's just a corner here. It fell to Chowdhury, and he played it into Saniolo, the defender, and he's gone down in the box. Not a penalty. It was kind of after he shot it. He hit a little dribbler to Hay, but he's up now. So, and Buster Collin just said Lampard is playing the youth, and that's what we should be doing. And I 100% agree.
I could see this coming a mile off with Chelsea. They 2-0 up against Sheffield United at home and they end up drawing 2-2. But if you're building something, you're building something, and the fans are being patient to what he's building.
Yeah, and I was reading Solskjaer's comments earlier when he was saying, I think it was this morning that he said that, we're going to build something and we're going to have ups and downs. We're going to have more ups and downs, and you just basically got to sit it, strap in tight and get ready because there's going to be some rough results, but we're going to do it the right way. But, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm complaining because they're winning this game right now 1-0, but this isn't the right way. There were so many opportunities for guys to start today that deserve a start, that should start, and still hasn't happened. So I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, I think this game is going one way if we don't score again.
Mata just got dispossessed, too slow on the ball. Leicester coming towards us in the midfield. Maddison on it. He's going to play it out wide to Chilwell.
Well, you know what? I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it because at the moment we're 1-0 up. And for all the moaning we've all done, quite rightly, we aren't playing better, just less crap than them, says T-Rex, go get it. Well, I think the penalty's the difference, isn't it? That's the thing. The penalties, if a defender makes a stupid error in the box like the Leicester defender does, it gives you a free shot on goal. Other than that, we haven't created a shot. We've only had a shot on goal because a Leicester defender did something stupid. That's the honest truth, Dan, really, isn't it? We've not created a shot on goal. Effectively, it would be 0-0 if the Leicester defender wasn't clumsy.
Yeah, and I think if it was 0-0 at halftime, and given the performance that we've had in this half, I think you'd get a lot of
moaning,
unrest from the fans. But that's the thing. I think that's still. See, here's the thing: when they go in let's say they go in 1-0 up, and everyone kind of forgets because you're 1-0 up. But take the penalty away, they've done nothing. It's not good enough because they're going to come at us in the second half even more than they have been in the first half. They're really going to come at us, and then what's going to happen when they equalize? If they equalize, we just don't look like we have any ideas going forward, and that's the worrying thing.
Let me know when the half ends for you, Dan, and we'll stop the timer. Zayn Miasi says, who do you think Peter Schmeichel is supporting in this match? Knowing him, he'll be supporting his son, won't he? Nothing wrong with that.
2 minutes of extra time, so.
But yeah, look, I wish it was 2 minutes to full time. United fans are very educated, like fans of a lot of clubs are, to be fair.
No, Lindelof done well with the header there. Damari Gray got past Ashley Young and put a cross in. He's put another cross in. Young has blocked it. It's fallen to Chowdhury here. And he hits a roller right into De Gea's arms. So decent chance, but just not enough on the shot.
Well, Leicester must have had I must have a look at this, actually. Leicester must have had a few shots on goal.
They've probably had about 3 or 4, I'd say.
Yeah.
3 or 4 shots on goal, maybe.
I can confirm.
They've had Madison's. They've had the one just now. That's 2. The defender Sanolu had the one off the corner kick, so that's 3.
Well, apparently we've had 3 shots, 2 of which have been on target. I can't think.
Pereira's free kick.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be 1.
So both from set pieces, really. Nothing from open play.
Yeah.
Simon Helden says, this is looking like a standard Manchester United game this season. We go one up on penalties just to lose to a team that plays better football.
Maddison on the ball here has put in a good cross. It's blocked by Young. Leicester might have one more opportunity to cross it in here before the half. Pereira's going to take it. Ricardo Pereira.
I was going to say, Andres Pereira better not be taking free kicks for...
Oh, boy.
1-1.
Actually, no, I would say good defending by Matic there, because I'm trying to think if it was Mata or Young. I can't see it right here, but Maddison absolutely destroyed them and walked into the penalty area. But fair play to Matic there. He took the ball off of Maddison and got rid of it, because that could have been bad. He was kind of squaring up to slide it right across the face of goal. And it's halftime. Oof.
Mark Palfrey says, Mark, as you've always said, football is not a complicated game. We are simply just not good enough tactically, plus players. It's obvious to see. Well, look, it's 0-0. It's not 0-0. It's 1-0 to Manchester United at half-time. That is the big positive that we must all take away from that half. Certainly get your comments in there. Jose won 4-0, but still boring, says Dipesh Kumar. The reality is Manchester United are currently 1-0 up, which is good to see. Not really created anything again. Admittedly. I think that at the moment, as United fans, we're just happy to be 1-0 up. But look, we Leicester have looked a better team, and it's only halfway through. And the worrying thing for me now, Dan, is that we've been in this position before. Southampton 1-0 up, Wolves 1-0 up, and the second half, the counter punch comes in, and we drop away a bit. So that's the challenge now. It's almost it's an exciting challenge to have, because if we can come through this against a very good team, it would be that confidence boost that we need, and the result outweighs the performance. Of course it does. So there's a real opportunity for United really to go and iron out some of the creases that we've seen in this season so far. On the other hand, if they don't and they blow another lead in another game, it's a big 45 minutes for Ollie. And what would you change about in the second half? Because there just doesn't seem to be enough. It's basically Dan James or Rashford, get your head down and run with it. And any team's dealing with that. We're not creating enough, I don't think.
Right, so they just put up the stats, and Leicester out possessing us 54-46. So I expect the same to happen in the second half, because I think they'll be on the ball a lot, and they'll definitely be trying to come at us. What I would do is I would make a proactive change now. I'd make 2 changes now at halftime, because they're winning 1-0. So I think now would be a perfect time to bring in some of these young players, because you have a lead, so you can play with a little more freedom, but also too they're going to get on the ball better. And they're going to move the ball quicker, especially because Leicester are going to be coming at us. We're going to play more on the counter-attack. So I would get Mata off now. And
I'd probably get Matic off now. To be fair.
Yeah, and I'd get Matic off now. And what I would do is I would put Pereira in the midfield with McTominay, because he's played there before, a little deeper. I'd play Gomez ahead of them. And then I'd bring in Rashford off the right-hand side, and I'd put Greenwood down the middle. Because, like I said, they're up 1-0. They'd be playing with a little more freedom. And they're going to come at us, so we'll be playing on the counter-attack, and I think they could get the second goal if they play like that. But I just, I highly doubt the manager's going to change it with a 1-0 lead, and we'll see the same in the second half, and hopefully they won't equalise, or we'll get the second goal.
Jordan Such says, Spurs 4-0 Palace, and what did Palace do to us 2 or 3 weeks ago? We'll look at Wolves as well. We went to Wolves and we got a good point, apparently. They're being smashed by Chelsea 3-0 at Wolves. Bring on Greenwood for Mata and push Rashford to the right. Rashford is never in the box when we need him to be, says Shvi Mello. Metal Music Review says it's 1-0, yes, from a penalty, but creations in the open play are far too limited. Get Fred and Greenwood on pronto. And Pivot Boy says we have nobody creative, and even when we do create a chance, Rashford is never in the right place to capitalise on it. Desperately need Pogba and Martial back. See, I agree with a lot of what people are saying in the live comments there. We're 1-0 up. I wouldn't say we're fortuitous to be 1-0 up. I think we're fortuitous in the way that the Leicester defender is an idiot, because there's no way Rashford's going to score from there. Even if the Leicester player lets him go past him, Johnny Evans is going to block the shot. So it was a stupid mistake. We're 1-0 up because of it. We'll take full advantage of that. That's great. But I think the way this game is going, it's the same old story. You can see a Leicester goal coming, and then it's going to be, will we react or will they take the 3 points? So if I was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I'd be like, look, in many ways, we're probably a little bit lucky to be 1-0 up. We need to create more chances to win this game because I can't see us winning it 1-0. That's the thing I was saying through the first half. I don't think we'll win 1-0. So we've got to find a way to win this game. So we need another goal. So I would take a positive approach. I wouldn't try and defend what we've got. I'd try and get the second goal to win the game. And the only way you're going to do that is by making changes, like Dan says, and a lot of people in the live comments are saying. I would try and get a Greenwood on or a Gomez on. And try and get a bit of impetus into the team. Try and push Leicester back a little bit. That's what I would do. Anapal Yapan says Matic may have had almost 6 good touches whole game. All of them were sluggish. Would drop Pereira as CM and bring in Gomez, get Greenwood at 60 minutes, else they will equalise for sure, which is pretty much what we were just talking about there. Joachim T says United have never lost a Premier League match being up at half-time at Old Trafford, Mark. A stat that cannot be ruined today. That is a very good stat. I remember that stat from before. And Red Jedi says, our MUTV highlights reel will be about 30 seconds long at the end of the season. Same players, same crap football. I think the 2 shots that United had on target were the goal, which was a penalty, and the free kick, which Pereira had, which Schmeichel palmed over the top. A lacklustre performance. Please bring the youth on, says Pommygit23. But it is a concern, Dan, again, that, yeah, Pereira's free kick was good, the penalty was good, but these are shots on goal from places you expect to get a shot on goal from that come from fouls by the opposition. I mean, a free kick on the edge of the box, you really should be having a shot on goal. A penalty, there's something wrong with you if you're not having a shot on goal, but we're not creating shots on goal from open play, and that is the continued concern that we've had for probably 3 years. This isn't just the Ollie problem. We had the same thing at Mourinho.
Yeah, and that's the scary thing, because when you're playing good teams like this, sometimes it's not a matter of if but when, you know? I mean, the thing is that the first 10 minutes of this game, right, Pereira had the free kick, so that was, I guess you'd say a chance, and Schmeichel made a very good save, and then we've had the penalty. Since that first 10 minutes, they've done nothing. So it's basically, it's 35 minutes of just keeping the ball in midfield and passing it around a little bit and trying not to concede. So, like we were saying at the start, I think the way to change that is if you make proactive changes and not reactive changes. Because I think if Leicester equalize in this game, and then you bring on the younger players, or you bring on a Gomez, or you bring on a Chong or Greenwood or whoever, I think it makes them harder to bet into the game, because there's almost pressure on them that they put on themselves, because now they feel like they have to go and get the winner, or kind of do more than they should. If they come in at 1-0, there's a little bit of a blanket there. They could play with a little more freedom, and I think you're going to get the best out of them. I just think that that's not how Ole manages. I think he manages very reactively, and I think he waits too long to make substitutions. So I don't think any changes are going to come for a long time, unless, and I hope I'm wrong, unless they score. And if they score, then he'll try to change it. But if it's still 1-0 going into 75, 80 minutes, I don't think he'll have any changes, except for maybe Mata, who can't last past 70. So.
Zingu says Gomez and Greenwood needed no creativity at all. I mean, just on a positive in relation to that, remember Manchester United, we do have 3 games coming up very, very quickly, with Astana on Thursday, West Ham on the Sunday, and then I think we're playing Rochdale on the Tuesday, which is 48 hours, which is ridiculous. So I'm intrigued to see how that's going to work, and I'm looking forward to it, to be honest with you. But hopefully we will see a little bit of Gomez and Chong and Greenwood playing in those games, because we certainly do need it. Lampard has shown us that playing same young players every week will give results. It's just patience that's needed. Seriously doubt Ollie will change even if this draws. He will say that the lads are played well. That's from Anup Al Yapan. Let me just get about where I need to be, and let me know when the kickoff kicks off again, Dan, actually. Ollie doesn't trust the youth as new ribbons. I just feel from this situation. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're nearly at 546,000 subscribers. We have got fan cams after the game, match reaction. We're live every night. All the watch-alongs on the United stand, so get involved. Udit Batnaga says, which team midfield would you have in your team? Which team attack will you have in your team out of United or Leicester this year? Defence is better. That Leicester midfield, I love Ndidi. I mean, I know that everyone thought it was a foul on Dan James when Dan James went over. It was actually just brilliant strength and tenacity from Ndidi, which is in stark contrast to what you get with Matic. But we are what we are, and we go with what we got, don't we? Do you feel we're going to get this result, Dan? I suppose that's the most on-the-spot question I can ask you at the point. Where do you think this is going to go second half?
Oh boy. Well, I think they're going to come at us definitely because they're already a goal down, and towards the end of that half, they really started coming on, especially the last 10, 15 minutes. So it's tough to say. I'm going to go with 1-0. I think that we're going to hold out.
It's got to change at some point, hasn't it? That's the thing I would say. At some point, the rules have got to change. The rule book's got to be changed. And I did. Well, you said at the start you could see us scrapping out a 1-0. I mentioned 1-0, I think, on the show last night. I did feel that United would get something today. I know it wasn't logical, but football's not logical, and I just felt that whilst Leicester were the favourites, we're still Manchester United at Old Trafford, and we've still got players that can create something. So I don't know. I can't see us winning. I don't know. I think everything's on the table, to be honest with you. I think we could win it 2-1. You know, we could get the second goal, then Leicester might get a goal. But I don't want to see, and I think this is the I'm going to be. People say you're too positive about Ollie sometimes, so I'm going to be a little bit negative here. I think Solskjaer's lack of big game management's going to haunt him a little bit here. I don't see him doing what needs to be done. And what needs to be done is we need to go and get the second goal, because I can see a Leicester goal coming. So we need to go and get the second goal. And I don't think he'll do that. I think he will stick with Matic and everybody for 90 minutes if he can. I think Mata will have to come off. Who will he bring on for Mata? He might bring Fred on, and that's the wrong substitution. He might bring Fred on to tighten up the midfield.
Right, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I think unless he'll have to change it, this goes back to what we were saying about being proactive and reactive. I think that if he has to change it, he will. So like a player like Matic, he might last 90 minutes. Pereira, he might last 90 minutes. Mata, there's no way he can, so maybe a 20 minutes for... See, I think if they do take off Mata, I don't think they'll put on Gomez. I think they'll move Pereira to the number 10 and they'll put Greenwood up front with Rashford. I just hope, a lot of people in the comments are talking about Lampard, and I just wish that there was a little bit of that going on where, you make a change. I understand that some people are saying, don't make too many changes at halftime, especially in the game you're winning. But I think the perfect time to do it would be maybe not at halftime, but 10 minutes in, if you're still up 1-0, make a couple proactive changes and attack the game.
I suppose the exciting thing is, though, if we can scrape out a win here today with this team, he can't pick this team again on Thursday and then pick it again on Sunday. He would have to make changes on Thursday. He would have to... of course, Twansibi would have to be given a run out. Maybe Greenwood and Gomez. And then when they get a run out, if they play well, maybe that's the only way they're getting in this team. Maybe Ollie is never going to trust them in a big game until they've done it in a lesser game. And maybe the game against Astana on Thursday at Old Trafford is the perfect game to give a Greenwood a start and a Twansibi a start. But I think, first of all, we've got to try and grind our way through this. Sasu says, I think... Let me know when it kicks off, Dan, as well. He says, United 3-0. And a lot of people laughed about that. But the reality is, I do feel echoes of the Chelsea game, where Leicester are like Chelsea. They're probably the better team. But we might just be able to hurt them on the break. Because that Chelsea game wasn't that long ago. And 4-0 flattered us anyway. Matici and Matari are trash. Wan-Bissaka is great, says, oh yeah, it's Joel. But the players should be coming out to kick off second half soon enough.
Yeah. It's not Matic anymore. It's Nemanja. He's on a first name basis with him. His best friends.
Yeah, he'll be calling Manny next.
It's and Ash. He's not Youngie anymore. He's been upgraded. He's getting older, so we can't call him Youngie anymore.
But it would be like United to maybe only have one other chance in the second half and score it and then win the game 2-0. You know, that I could see that happening. I can't believe I have to have a premium subscription to watch a crap United side, says the Mexican American. With our form, we deserve to watch for free. And Ollie's starting to come across as a bullshitter. Youth attacking, play, etc. Seen nothing, says Momentum Stocks. Leicester should organise a helicopter... Oh, not reading that. Sorry, I even started it. I haven't read the end of it. And the boys are not being creative up front, says Ebenezer. The bra, well, like your name, Ebenezer, or your namesake in the Christmas Carol, we're being a bit mean up front at the moment. It's slim pickings, but smash and grab, says Shreshit Banerjee. We are set up like an away side, aren't we, Dan, to be honest? We are set up like an away side. It's the same as the Chelsea game.
Yeah, and that's been every game so far at home. But coming out now, going to get started for the second half. Don't see any changes made, so I think we're just going to have to hope to sit back and soak up some of the pressure, because I'd be shocked if they don't come out and...
Well, if it does finish 1-0, if it finishes 1-0, happy days because we get the 3 points, but we're going to be... I'd watch Match of the Day in the morning because we're going to be on just before midnight. We'll be the last team if bloody Chelsea and Spurs win in and Leicester scored. Man City have got to play Norwich. They're going to score 6. We'll be the last pick. Would need Pogba and Martial to Chelsea them, says Murray. Ollie looks too scared to try things, says Momentum Stocks. Second half has started, apparently. Has it started?
Not yet. Now it's kicked off. Yep, good.
Okay, time is up and running. Let's see what we can get in this second half. 3 points, hopefully. I tell you what, I must say this now. If we draw from this situation, I'll be very pissed off. It'll be the same as the Wolves game. We can't be drawing games. A draw for Leicester would be brilliant. They'd stay 3 points ahead of us. They'd probably still be in the top 6. But for United, a draw's not good enough, especially when you're 1-0 up. We've got to go and win this now.
Yeah, definitely. And it would be even more of a plus to keep a clean sheet, because I think they've only kept one all year, right? The first game to Chelsea, and then after that, everybody scored on us. So it'd be good to get a clean sheet as well. No
changes at half-time. Right. Very rare you'd see that from Ollie, unless there's injuries anyway. But there's your bench for you. Twansibi and Romero, Jones, Chong, Gomez, Fred and Greenwood. And the reality is, if he's going to make changes, most of that bench are players that we like, apart from Phil Jones. So, yeah, it could be good.
The thing about Gomez, too, is, I think a lot of people seem to forget, his contract's up soon. And, the more games go by that he doesn't play, the less he's going to be apt to sign. So
Humberto makes a good point. Humberto Zamano, Dan, I'll ask you this. Pereira, man of the match so far. I mean, that's not something that has even entered the equation. So if people in the live comments want to talk about it, that would be great. Because when you talk about a man of the half for United, for me, the players...
De Gea for me.
Who?
De Gea for me.
Yeah. Well, De Gea, and also he's had a lot of stick lately, so I think De Gea would be one. McTominay put a lot of effort in, and Pereira put a lot of effort in, but it's been slim pickings because we've not really created anything.
Yeah, I'd say De Gea for me, because if he doesn't make that save on Maddison, they go 1-0 up inside of 7 minutes.
Yeah,
I think you're looking at a very different game, and he made a good save on Chilwell's volley as well. Ball over the top here to Vardy. Maddison comes through, tries to collect, and De Gea's out to grab it. So starting to do the over the top ball, which Lindelof has real trouble with.
We shouldn't be conceding. We shouldn't be conceding the over the top ball when we're playing as deep as we are today. It's a lot of people saying McTominay as well for man of the match, man of the half so far, and a few Pereiras as well. But Red Adrian Durman says McTominay has lost the ball a lot. So again, you can look at a player on depending on what your agenda is with a player, really. It's like that person in the first half who said Ashley Young's played well, but I said, but Leicester have got down that side a lot. So they've not got down Wan-Bissaka's side.
No, Dave Hayes asking if there was any changes at halftime. No changes, Dave. Same as the first 45. So, yeah, they have gotten down young side a lot, and they're going down it now, but Maguire's there to... No.
Well, it's going to be interesting how it goes, because we know against Wolves and we know against Southampton we're 1-0 up and we concede within the first sort of 15 minutes of the second half. So,
Right.
first phase is to get through the first 15 minutes and keep and still be ahead. The interesting thing will be if we're 1-0 up with 10 minutes to go, Leicester are going to throw everything at us.
Yeah, I've already just got around Maguire there and put a ball across the face of goal, but no one was there to tap it in. So, just like we were talking about, they're going to come at us. They're going to have to if they want to get a point, at least. So, I just worry about hitting them on the break because we really don't have a lot of pace going forward.
This is the thing, though, isn't it? This is why the next...
Dan James just skinned Pereira. He's going to have a shot here. It's always rising just over the bar, but he skinned Pereira, and then Johnny Evans came in late with the tackle, so it disrupted the shot. But yeah, just over the bar, always going over Schmeichel's head. He beat Pereira easily, made him look like a fool.
Well, the thing is, as well, it's the next goal is absolutely crucial, isn't it? It really is. I think if United were to score a second, we win the game at this point in the game. But if Leicester get it,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they get it, it's gonna be tough. I know we haven't lost the game that we were winning, at halftime at Old Trafford, but
that's what I don't understand about Ollie. Like, he doesn't want to start these players like Fred and Greenwood and Gomez. He doesn't want to start them. But if Leicester were to score in the next 20 minutes, and then it's this, you're at that 70-minute mark, Leicester are 1-1, they've got the momentum, and then you're going to have to chuck the youth on. So you're throwing them into a more difficult situation than starting them. You're chucking them on with 20 minutes to go, when a team's equalised against you and they've got the momentum. That's harder than throwing them in at the start. So there is a sort of hypocrisy in that. Mata's non-existent, says Jim Cahill. Yeah, we're certainly not hearing a lot of Mata. I don't think this sort of game suits Mata. It's not a game at Old Trafford like you might get against Burnley, where they're parked on their edge of their box and, there's a lot of slow ball around the edge of the box. That suits Mata. This game, he's picking it up.
Mata's got it now.
Well, here we go.
Mata's got it now in the area. He's done the defender. Good save by Schmeichel. It's come out to, I believe that was Pereira who shot that. Yeah, Mata done well there.
There you go. He silenced us. Very good play, says Kurito Janga.
Yeah,
I'd love it if he'd have scored then. This ain't the sort of game for Mata. Mata scored, Mark. He's just scored.
I know.
But that
chance.
I
agree with you. I don't. Yeah, it's few and far between, and I don't think it's the game for him either. Like, but that's because
he's picking it up in and around the box, isn't he? There, which is
exactly.
Well, at least we've just created a chance. We've had 2 chances at the start of this half, so that's an improvement on the second half. We've had 2 shots on goal from open play, so that's more than we did in the first 45.
Yeah, we started the same way though in the first half. The first 10 minutes we had those 2 chances, and after that nothing. So first 10 minutes here, first 6 minutes we've had 2 chances. So let's keep it coming, because some people say that the best defense is a good offense, and I wouldn't trust our defenders yet to just sit back there and soak up 40 minutes of pressure. So
love the channel, Mark. Watched since summer 2016, says Just Liam. Thank you. Hi to Bodil. And but what I was saying about Mata is, and he nearly shut me up by scoring that goal. There's not a lot of activity going on around the edge of the box of Leicester or in the box of Leicester, which I think, Mata's not quick, so he needs to be there to do the damage. In this game, a lot of it's being played in our half, and Mata's probably a 60-metre sprint from where he needs to be, which obviously he's not going to be able to do. So it's not really, a backs to the wall game is not really suitable for Mata. Mata suits a slower game where against a team that's parking the bus, and he can unlock it. Daniel James is player of the season, top player, says John Pete. He probably would be so far.
Yeah, Mata's going to get on it again here. He's going to play it to Rashford. Rashford tried to return the pass to him, and it's intercepted by Johnny Evans, and Leicester are away, but Harry Maguire's done really well there.
Yeah,
Harry Maguire's done very well to cover up for Ashley Young, because he got beat by Damari Gray, and it could have been a 2-on-1.
A lot of love in the comments for Maguire there. Comments for Maguire there.
That was big. Excellent defending.
But Leicester are starting to stretch us a little bit, aren't they? Because we are actually trying to press forward.
Yeah.
To be fair, I can only applaud that from United. We are actually trying to get the second goal because I think Ollie knows what we do from 1-0. So there is that impetus to try and get that second goal.
Yeah, Young just gave away a free kick on Damari Gray, so Leicester will have it in their own half. And they played it out wide to Chilwell, so and then nobody's on that side.
I don't agree it's a boring game, whoever said that. I think it's a tense game, and I think that's why people are moaning a little bit, because they're worried. They were worried at the team news. They're worried that we're only 1-0 up, and they know that we're on the...
Maddison on it now to Tielemans.
Edge of a cliff.
Tielemans fouled at the edge of the area by McTominay, so someone's going to have a decent free kick. Probably Maddison will have it in a good area. Yeah, stupid foul.
So it's a tense game. I think that's why everyone's a little bit moany, because, at the start of the game, maybe you would take a point against Leicester, but from being 1-0 up again, and more dropping of the points, I think there would be, people would almost be treating it like it's an up and down game. You're right, Manali. But it's a good opportunity for Leicester from here. Who does looks like they're going to take it then?
Maddison will take it, and he's say about 23, 24 yards out, right at the edge of the D, on the right side. So, and De Gea's got the sun in his eyes.
I just think toward Prowse back in March.
Chilwell could hit a free kick too.
Yes.
yeah, of course.
Well, I was at that game.
Chilwell could hit a free kick too.
And Flex was like, Ward-Prowse is really good, he'll score this. I said, no, he won't do. But De Gea does tend to get beaten by some good free kicks in his career at United. So, hat-trick for Tammy Abraham. Bloody hell, 4-0 to Chelsea.
See it. Here comes Maddison. Oh, boy, I'll tell you what, that was close.
Good. Not that it was close, I thought it was going in.
Yeah, no, I don't think De Gea was going to save that, because he was standing still unless he knew it was going wide, but it didn't miss by much. Just a little high.
Tammy Abraham must have like 7 goals now.
Yeah, I think so. I think Aguero's behind him with 6. I think Tammy Abraham's got 7 because he scored 2. Right, he scored 2 against Sheffield. 3 today, that's 5.
Yeah.
Scored 2 against Norwich, that's 7, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not looking depressed, I'm looking concerned, and to be honest with you, somebody in the live comments just said there that was in for Maddison. De Gea won't get in near it if he got it on target, so a little bit of a let-off there.
Yeah, Dan James just done well, won a throw-in. He's had the beating of Pereira, but they haven't really gone down that side enough for me. I think that when you have a player like Dan James who could pretty much beat whoever, whenever, just keep feeding him the ball, because Pereira's not going to do that. But Young actually was a corner. Actually, we won a corner, so Young is going to take that.
Come on, Harry Maguire against his old club. I don't think Chilwell is better than Shaw, says AB. Boy, you're going to get a lot of stick for that. I like Luke Shaw as a left back, but
no, Maguire almost.
Oh.
Decent corner, and it was right on his head. Just didn't have the pace.
That would have been sweet love if he'd have scored that. Sweet love. So Harry Maguire nearly from a corner there. Well, I don't know whether it was nearly, but he got on the end of a corner, and I don't think it was nearly, was it really?
No, but, just didn't have the speed on it.
But this is why delivery into the box is so important when you've got a player like Harry Maguire. I mean, he's not going to score every week, but he's so good in the air, he can win things.
Chadri's coming off Mark, and they're bringing on Ayoze Perez, so they're taking off a midfielder for a forward. So
I think Maguire might drop in. Maddison might drop in the middle then.
He's real quick, Perez. So see Maddison. Yeah, it looks like he's gone a little bit further back to get next to Ndidi.
I think that makes their midfield stronger. To be honest, I think Maddison, Tielemans, and Ndidi is a stronger midfield. I like Chowdhury, but I think their midfield's stronger now.
Yeah, I'd agree. I just think it takes away a little bit from Maddison. I know he gets up and down well, but he's not going to be as advanced as he was. McTominay's done well there in a tackle against Ndidi. He's found Ashley Young. James Bond says, do you think putting on Gomes would improve us? Absolutely. I think you put him on for Mata right now, you'll see a different team going forward when we have the ball. Because somebody said it in the comments earlier. See, Mata's kind of past it because he doesn't have the pace, but he still is a creative player. Gomez is just as creative as Mata is, and he's 10 times faster. So.
So, I still got half an hour to go, over half an hour to go in this game, actually. I was expecting to look up there and it'd be 68, not 58, but I am tense today. I'm not normally like this. I feel quite tense. There's just a feeling that...
Madison just walked past Mata, and now they're on the attack. I just walked right past him. Sorry. They played it in, tried to get Gray on the ball, but Wan-Bissaka's there, dealing with everything.
AB makes a good point. He says, when is Ali going to make a substitution? And Strutson says, James and McTominay man of the match at this point. Ali doesn't normally make a substitution until the 70-minute mark, but I don't think he will. I think, the proof, the hint was in the team he selected. He's gone for a team that's experienced. And I don't think he'll want to take any of those players off if he can help it. He's trying to grind a result out with experienced players. That's how he set his stall out for me. Dan and everyone at home, with the team that we weren't happy with, he's gone for that.
Yeah, and I think he'll keep on Matic as long as he can, and I think he'll keep on Mata as long as he can. And Mata usually doesn't last past 70, 75, so I think he'll have to make at least one change. But I think he'll be if it stays like this, I think he'll be very reluctant to take off Matic. It's going to be a throw in here for Leicester.
Such a big point, 3 points for United if they can get these, To go, we've had a bad start, 5 points from 4, but if we can get up to 8, that would put us level with Leicester anyway. So, really
what are they on for? What are they on for goals? I'd assume we probably still have a pretty good goal difference because we scored the 4 against Chelsea, right?
Yeah. So we dropped one of those to Palace, didn't we? So we've probably still got +3 goal difference, yeah, which is pretty decent. I think. So it'd be +4.
Damari Gray coming on. Tillemans with a shot. Well over.
I mean, Leicester have had more of the ball, but they've not had that, apart from that Maddison chance, they've not really had a clear-cut chance, and that's the key.
Let's see here. It's just reached 60 minutes. A little bit over 60 minutes gone, so I'm just going to try to play out the back here.
Just to have a look at the screen for everybody, there's your subs options for United. Twansebi, Chong, Gomez, Jones, Greenwood and Fred. He'll probably bring bloody Phil Jones on. Don't start begging for subs. He'll probably bring Phil Jones on as another CDM just to soak it all up. I think at some point that is more likely, to be honest. I think he's more likely to go defensive at some point to try and hold on.
I'd bring on Twanzebe though before I brought on Phil Jones, but Damari Gray with a shot. It's blocked by Maguire and it goes out for a Leicester throw. Perez here has won a corner. But somebody in the comments just mentioned that Mata looks like he's getting gassed. Yeah, he's emptied the tank out. He needs to get subbed off, and I think Pereira's starting to lose it a little bit because he hasn't been playing well this second half. He's got dispossessed a couple times also.
The thing about Mata that makes me laugh is, and I always say this, so sorry for being repetitive, everybody, is I don't know why we kept Juan Mata at the club, because last season he was crap, but the season before that, when Mourinho used to pick him, he only used to play for 70 minutes anyway. So here we are, 2 seasons on, starting him. Like, for me, he's always going to have to come off after 70 minutes. He's not a 90-minute player.
No, I know, I agree. So, Tielemans just whipped in the short corner and it missed Lindelof's head. And Johnny Evans missed it. Sanola missed it, and I think it was offside, yeah. They got to, also, too, they got to sort out on the corners who's marking who, because the Southampton game, the perfect example. Vestergaard came up for a corner and Ashley Young was marking him on the first one. Then the ball fell, and then the rebound, Lindelof was marking him. Maguire should be taking out their best header of the ball every time.
I'd like to see Maguire do what Vidic used to do, to be honest. Sod everybody else and just go and win the ball.
Could win the ball, yeah.
Win the ball at its highest point, and no one else is going to win it, are they?
57% possession now for Leicester in this half, so Pereira on the ball. Ricardo Pereira. It's come to Perez. He's in the box. Plays it to Pereira. Good tackle by Maguire. Very important tackle there.
It's just defensive at the moment, isn't it? It's defensive. It's trying to just keep him out. And can we do that for half an hour?
But now he plays it to Mata, who's slow. He turns. He gets the ball stolen from him, and he's looking for a foul, but it's never a foul. He's got 3 guys around him, and he doesn't have the pace. They got to make some changes and get some pace because they're going to come at us, and now is the time to have some pace on the break, which we don't have.
Yeah.
Another cross in. It's blocked by Wan-Bissaka for a throw-in. I think it's going to be one-way traffic now until we make some subs, which is sad because now it's kind of like you just kind of...
Well, we're hanging on with half an hour, aren't we? There's half an hour to
exactly.
go. We're 2/3 into a game. Like, you can't be hanging on this early in a game. And as I keep saying, the goal was a penalty. Like, how are we going to score without that penalty? But yeah, a lot of people saying that Mata looks absolutely dead on his feet. Going back to that about Mata, I don't understand why we start him, because what about the game where we get 3 injuries like we did against Liverpool? You've got to force him to play 90 minutes. He can't play 90 minutes. So Mata for me should only ever be a bench option because he can't play 90 minutes. I mean, we've only had an hour and he's knackered.
Yep, Gomez is warming up and Harvey Barnes warming up for Leicester, who's a tricky player and he's quick. Someone said it was Gomez and Garner. It wasn't James Garner, mate. He's not even in the matchday squad.
No. I'll be glad if Barnes is coming on though, because I think Gray's a better player, but there we go.
The thing about Harvey Barnes that I like is he's more direct. He doesn't do as many tricks. He kind of just gets the ball and puts his head down and puts in the crosses.
Dazu W says, Ollie's going about it all wrong. Should be doing the same thing as Lampard and playing youth and would get more fans on his side. We are winning but still not happy. I think today is what I spoke about on Thursday. I said to a lot of people, Dan, I don't know what you would have said. I said, would you rather grind a 1-0 out with Mata and Matic and Lingard, who I thought would play, or would you rather draw with Greenwood and Gomez and Fred? And I said I'd rather draw with Gomez and Fred and Greenwood because we would be building something. And a lot of people said they'd rather grind it out. So you might be getting that result, the grind out with the old established players.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a real catch-22. Hold on a second, Maddison in here. Good, decent cross, but Ashley Young puts it out for a corner when he could have let it go, probably for a United throw-in. So,
well, Alligator says it feels like we're watching a Mourinho-era game, Ollie to bring on Fellaini at the 72. At least we haven't got that option anymore.
Yeah.
But no, the reason I would rather have drawn today with Greenwood and everybody than win it like this is that, yeah, you drop the 2 points, but over the next 3 or 4 months, he'd keep playing those players and we'd build something out like Lampard has. He drew against Sheffield United at home and they've gone and smashed Wolves. Whereas I think if we grind this result out today with Matic and everyone, he's going to keep picking them until the point where we get embarrassed again. So it's like...
Right. Yeah, that's the problem.
It's the short-term pain over long-term gain.
Well, they're bringing Fred on now for Matic, so... I gotta say, I'm a little surprised at that so early.
Yeah,
Matic looking around like he can't believe it. He's like,
well, a lot of people.
Matic looking, yeah.
Why not? God's name, won't you make a sub? Says Alfie. Well, that's a big sub then, Fred for Matic, because I don't know. I didn't think Matic had played that well, but a few people saying, "Oh, Matic has played well." Clearly not, because he can play 90 minutes.
I'm actually, I gotta say, I'm quite surprised, and Harvey Barnes is going to come on for Damari Gray. I'm quite surprised at that at this time, because usually I think if that was going to come, that would have came, by the 80th minute. But to do it now...
Well, it just gives us a bit more pace, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm suddenly engaged.
Oh, Chong's coming on too. Okay. All right. Now I'm getting a little interested, because now Chong's coming on probably at the next whistle. I assume he'd come in probably for Pereira, I'd say.
Well, this is it. I mean, the exciting thing about this, and I can see it in the comments and I can hear it in your voice as well, Dan, is that this has been a lacklustre performance, but we're 1-0 up. But now you're chucking these players in that we like into a real pressure cook situation. And if we get over the line now with those players playing and we go and maybe get a second goal, then suddenly you're like, yeah, we were 1-0 up with Matic and bloody Mata, but then we brought them on and we were suddenly a better team.
Absolutely. and Rashford's trying to get in behind Chilwell, and Man United are going to have a throw here. I'd assume Pereira would come off, and then unless Mata's going to come off and Pereira's going to play as a number 10.
Yeah, he's got to get Mata off, I think. He's got to get Mata off. Look how Chelsea are doing today with their young squad, says Brian Murphy. Ollie is all talk when it comes to blooding our young players. Boring United. Well, I think, Brian, you probably typed that before the subs because things have suddenly got interesting. Matic is off for Fred and Chong is coming on. And I actually have got goosebumps. I'm actually feeling a little bit excited and like, bloody hell, come on. This 3 points could suddenly be a very good 3 points. But Fred's dropped into the CDM role next to McTominay, which gives us some more mobility. Mata's losing the ball again as per fucking usual. Get him off, I think.
He got clotheslined in the throat, but it wasn't a foul, so I think he'll probably get subbed now, or he should. Let's see, Chong's coming on now. So
he's such a bench player, isn't he, Mata? He's just not there.
Or like you said, when you're playing it, yeah, he's coming off. Mata's coming off. Or like you said, you're playing a Burnley, or even like when we played Palace at home, and you put him on then because they're going to sit behind the ball.
He's such a good player, that Ndidi. Such a good player. I'd love him at United.
Yeah, I don't know how many times we could go knocking on their door because they're going to probably maybe go for Maddison if he's not too expensive, and then we've already got Maguire. And
AB says Mata should be coming on at this stage, not coming off. Exactly, he's not. I don't like as a coach. I would never like to have a player that I know I've got to sub. Like you don't pick a team where you know you've got to sub a player after 70 minutes.
Yeah. Also, too, if he doesn't start the game and he comes off the bench, there's a foul here on Vardy, on De Gea. Also, too, if he comes off the bench in a game like this, you're up 1-0, let's say he comes on 20 minutes left. He is an experienced head who could keep the ball and, waste time and stuff like that. So, he's at this stage, he's a sub.
20 minutes to go. Fred's on for Matic. Chong's on for Mata. Maybe it's the team that should have started, but it's certainly on now. With the key time to go, I miss United players running wings and whip the ball in, says Matt Mashashi. I tell you what, I've got to say as well. I'm going to give Ollie a bit of credit for bringing Chong on. I would not have thought Chong would come on. I would have thought maybe Gomez, certainly Greenwood. So the fact that Chong's come on, it shows a real. I've got to applaud Ollie for that because it shows a real trust in him to bring him into such a big game. We need Leicester to be our Southampton, says Murray. I don't know what he means.
Don't know. Yeah, I don't know why. Don't know why Chong's playing on the left though, because Daniel James is better off the left than the right, and Chong's better off the right than the left. So, yeah. Hope they switch that up, because right now Chong's playing on the left. So, Wan-Bissaka with another good tackle.
At least we've got 3 flair-fast players up in them positions now.
Foul by McTominay.
Good question coming in there from South E, who's one of the mods, saying how was Rashford done? He's had a quiet game, hasn't he? Really, because, and this is what some people don't understand sometimes. He's not had a bad game. He's just had a quiet game because United haven't really done anything, have they?
No, he's scored a penalty. That's about it. In the first half, he was holding up the ball pretty well, but in the second half, he hasn't even gotten it. So, and there you go. There's Fred right in with a make a good pass. There you go, Pereira. James. Ugh. All right, so Leicester trying to pass it out of the back. Fred comes steamrolling up from midfield and wins the ball off of Pereira. And he lays it across to Andreas, and the ball just goes under his feet. Yeah, he miscontrolled it, Andreas.
Murray says...
But Fred already... Sorry.
Murray says that Leicester need to be United, Southampton in relation to how Southampton are a feeder club for Liverpool.
I'll take it. They got some fantastic players, but just in that first minute, Fred doing more than Matic done in the whole 60 plus.
It's all about
coming up high up the pitch,
speed, isn't
the
it?
ball.
Speed and tenacity, which Matic will never have. Akil Kamal says, as a United fan, I back Rashi, but another performance where his impact is not noticed. I think, to be fair
Pereira's done well here, Chong. He's played it behind Rashford. Pereira done really well. He got around about 2 or 3 players. Sorry about that, Mark.
It's all right. I think this game has got the feel that we might be able to grind it out, now. Because we're getting on the front foot.
Well, I was going to say, why? Because we have players now that could go forward, so they're going to have to be a little wary of that. Before, if you don't make these changes, they're not worried about Matic breaking forward or Juan Mata breaking forward. So, got to have the option up front just to at least give them something to think about. Ashley Young fouled here.
A few people in the live comments are saying that Angel Gomez should consider leaving. What's he got to do to get in the team? I would wait and see what happens against Astana on Thursday and Rochdale the following week. If he doesn't start in either of those two games, I'll agree with you. But we've got a lot of games coming up.
I think he should come on in this game, Gomez, instead of Greenwood, because I don't think he's going to take Rashford off, and I wouldn't take Dan James off because Dan James doesn't seem to get tired.
No.
I would bring on Gomez in place of Pereira, and then play with Fred and McTominay right behind him, and then give Greenwood the start on Thursday.
Svi Mallow says, how different would this game be if Pogba played? It's always difficult to sort of quantify that because it's obviously a hypothetical anyway, but I mean, we'd have a better midfield with Pogba in it. There's no question about that. But I just feel so far, and it's very dangerous for me to say this, so I'm almost reluctant to say it, but I just think Leicester have struggled with what I thought they could struggle with. If Leicester had turned up and played well today, I think they would have won because they've got a better team. But I think they've turned up and struggled with the fact that they're almost the favourites, and United have sort of played deep and made it hard for them, and they won't be used to teams that are doing big teams doing that, especially away from home. So deserved yellow card, I think, for Maddison.
Oh, hold on, Wan-Bissaka down the right side, good cross in. It's a good header by Johnny Evans. Yeah, I think if we would have came at them, I think we would have been in a lot of trouble today because Vardy and Maddison going forward, I think would have really gave us some trouble. McTominay with the pass out to Chong. I still don't know why he's on the left side.
Well, Jesus Escobar says Pereira automatically looks better playing as a number 10. Well, he's got more mobility. Struggling with my words.
Chong's giving it away, and Leicester are going to have a throw in. I would like to see Chong on the right side instead of Dan James. I don't know what that's about.
I think Chong is left-footed though.
Yeah, I think so too.
And Dan James is probably more right-footed, I suppose.
Good defending again by Wan-Bissaka. Chong out with it. Oh, Chong with a nice little dummy to beat Pereira. Going forward now, Rashford on it. Come on, Marcus. Back to Chong.
Well, these substitutions seem to have made a big difference in relation to it's not all Leicester anymore. United are actually causing them problems and have been a better side. I think it's exactly the substitutions that the fans wanted. United have gone on the front foot, and instead of sitting back and trying to hold on to the lead, they're actually trying to win it, which is exactly what we should do. A lot of love for Chong. Been impressive, I think.
Yeah, he's played all right. Just giving the ball away a little bit, but that's what's going to happen with young players. They're going to give the ball away. Got to let them learn. Maguire cleaning up well.
Big 3 points. Big 3 points if we can get it. There's still time for Leicester to get back in. It'd be very disappointing if they did, but...
Dan James on it. Tries going around Sanalu, who loses it. Pereira on it now. Good play into Dan James, who's in the box. Tries to cross it. It's a good block. Wan-Bissaka back on it.
I prefer Pereira as a number 10, yeah.
Gets past Barnes. Not past Chilwell. Pereira's going to keep it a little bit. Now Fred's got it. Maguire stepping up way deep into our half. It's done well. Ashley Young to Chong.
Tez Tech has just said, how's Maguire playing against Vardy? Well, I think Vardy's pretty much like most strikers, isn't he? He thrives on service, and United have played a deep line today, so he's not had that ball over the top. And he's
high
not really
ball
had a lot of service.
to high ball to Vardy over the top, and Lindelof done well there. Stumbled at first, but he cleared it. I was getting nervous.
Yeah, I would have looked an idiot then. We just got to keep that line a bit deep.
Leicester throwing, Tillemans on it.
As soon as Chong and Fred come on, the crowd seem up for it, and we are electric going forward, says K Chino. This is it. I mean, it's just a way. It's just a way to make those two substitutions make us a lot quicker and make the fans feel better. Justice O says McTominay has been almost world class today. I'm starting to see his potential, and Pereira is a clear number 10. Waste playing matter in the first. Justice O, I think you're full of banter, mate. World class. What are you on about?
He's played all right. I think he's been good. That's about it. Good's the limit, I'll go. Apparently, we've had 5 attempts this half. McTominay giving the ball away to Ndidi. Leicester coming at us. Perez is on it.
Well, we are getting close, people, to what would be a fantastic result for Manchester United, and hopefully we're going to get over the line. Boy, do I love watching Fred, says Jags X. I mean, you do look at it and you do think, why is he not playing more? You know, I always try and defend Ollie in many ways and say, well, he sees him in training, maybe doesn't fancy him, maybe he's not doing enough in training. But from what I see of him, he's just... And I'm only comparing him to Matic. I'm not saying he's the next bloody Fabinho or anyone like that, or Fernandinho, anything like that. I'm not saying he's that good. But when you compare him to Matic, you just see a better player who suits the modern game better.
Yeah, which kind of begs the question is why Matic even gets in ahead of him in the first place. Fred really must be pissing people off in training, or maybe they just think he's not ready, you know, in terms of the fitness levels, but take him all day. I think he just needs a run of 10 games. Just stick him in for 10 games consistently, win or lose, and then get your outcome. If he's gash, get rid. If not, keep him in the squad.
100%.
United keeping the ball well here. Young skipped around 2 players and won a throw-in.
10 minutes to go. Massive 3 points if United can get this. Difficult circumstances, I would say it's one of those... I would liken it to, when a decent... It'd be like Liverpool going to Everton and losing, maybe. Well, that's a derby. That's not a good comparison. But look, I don't think United... The expectation of beating Leicester, I don't think was there amongst the fan base at the moment. We're not that club yet, so it would be a really good 3 points for us. Are we better without Pogba? Says Red Jedi. God no. No.
McTominay just won a free kick on the about 24, 25 yards out. Should be Pereira's to take.
Well, I think the players that have really stood out have been McTominay, Pereira, and...
Never mind, Mark Rashford's taking it.
I'll go make a cup of tea.
Yeah, it's him and Fred, and there's no way he's going to let Fred take it. So he's got to be close to probably a little more than 25 yards out. Although he's not doing his normal run-up here, Rashford.
He's just he's at the post.
belted this and hit the post.
Well, there you go. I was going to say he shouldn't be allowed to take free kicks, but obviously he does something in training, doesn't he? He just doesn't do it in the very often on the pitch.
Outside of the post. Wow. Color me surprised.
Still didn't go in though, did it?
Nah. Well, that's the thing, you know.
I just don't think he. I know it nearly goes in, and we've got to say, oh, what a great goal that would have been. But actually, when you add them all up, that's probably the closest he's been in about 50 free kicks. He shouldn't be on free kicks. He's not got the technique for it. I don't care what he thinks. Like Lolly says, he thinks he's Ronaldo. His technique of hitting free kicks is not the right technique for free kicks anyway. He tries to whip it, and it's not a good tech. Ronaldo doesn't score many free kicks. There's a myth that he does, and I don't like Rashford on free kicks. I never have. And if he scores with them, great, but he misses loads, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think Dan James just picked up a yellow here.
He's picking up quite a few, isn't he, Dan James, actually? I think he must have about 3.
Yeah. I was going to say, he's probably got 3.
Well, come on. I'm actually feeling far less tense than I have done. I'm starting to feel like we're home and hosed, which is dangerous, I know, but I just feel that Leicester haven't really done enough. The substitutions have sort of shut them up, to be fair.
Maguire away. De Gea comes to catch.
Massive 3 points if we can get it.
Yeah.
Because they don't get any easier. I think West Ham next week's is very, very difficult away game. Then you get Arsenal, and you got Newcastle away. So every game, and they're not massive games. I mean, they're not Liverpool's and Man City's and Spurs, are they, in the context of the league? But they are massive games for us at the moment. And I think we said it at the start of the season. Every game is almost a cup final for United because we just don't know what to expect from this team.
Yeah, I just saw Phil Jones warming up. That'll make you happy.
So no Greenwood and no Gomez. Well, I hope they both start against Astana, but I bet they won't.
But even still now, if you bring on Gomez, what does that do? It was 7 minutes with the stoppages. It's just, I don't know.
Well,
I guess as a fan, you're always going to want more. Hold on, Leicester coming through, Lindelof out for a corner.
He probably won't be on the bench for the next game because there'll be people back from injury. So he gets on the bench, he doesn't get any time. So, how's he supposed to get involved, I suppose is the valid point.
Yeah. They've had 8 corners, Leicester. This is their 8th corner. It's a lot. I didn't think it was that high.
They probably missed someone like Harry Maguire.
There's Madison.
Well, it'd be bloody horrible if they were to find a point now, because I don't actually feel that Leicester deserve it now. I think we've sort of ridden the storm out.
Yeah, it'll be a goal kick. There was some discussion there on if it was going to be a corner or not, but it's went over everybody's head. Let me see. Actually, Fred did get a touch on it. Probably should have been a corner kick, but it's going to go for a goal kick. So about 3 minutes left, 3.5 minutes left plus stoppages.
Oh,
so
we can't be letting this go from here. We can't be getting this go from here. This is game management now. This is the sort of thing that defines your career as a manager. He's got to start. This would be a very good result for United to be 1-0 at half time and then win it 1-0 after the start of the season we've had, where we've let these sort of results slip away. It'd be very, very, very good to get the result.
Oh, Chong around Pereira. Little 1-2 here with Rashford. Andreas on it. Andreas should be dribbling that in more. He shot it from way too far out. Shot it from about 30 yards out. Leicester on the ball.
Nervy times.
Dan James doing well tracking back. Chong doing well tracking back. He's won it back. A long ball up to Rashford. Goes over everybody's head. Schmeichel clears it.
How are we feeling, everybody? Think we're going to get over the line? 16,000 of you watching. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Remember, subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. I've got my match reaction coming up after this, and then we will have all the fan cams coming in. Always very interesting to see what the fans have got to say to Flex. You know, I think definitely there'll be some positivity if we win. Much needed positivity. But I think those substitutions for me have got us the points, Dan. Well, if we get them, because I thought it was only going one way. Up until then, we were basically under the cosh, but these substitutions have given us some impetus that we should be having from minute one, to be honest, I think.
Yeah, before those changes were made, they were coming at us thick and fast, so I think that was a definite plus, and that's why we were speaking earlier about making those changes at halftime, just because it's going to give you something more and help you get out from the back, so you're just not sitting back defending. So I definitely think those help, because it stretches them at the back. They can't come forward as often they would like, because we have the pace. So massive help, definitely massive help. So I think we're just getting into 90 minutes now. So it looks like just about to hit the 89th minute. Ricardo Pereira down the right, decent ball in. De Gea comes and catches.
I'll tell you what, it was a foreign feeling to get a win. We haven't won since opening day, have we? Bloody hell.
I know. Especially a nice 1-0 against a pretty decent side. Take it all day long. I think Wan-Bissaka has played very well today, but just you don't hear much about him because he's just doing his job.
Well, there's absolutely nothing coming down that side, is there? That's the thing.
No, yeah, they really haven't used it much.
But yeah, we haven't won since opening day. I mean, it's over a month. Literally haven't won. We've not even had any cup games, have we? So massive result if we can get it. And not a lot of people said it, but I've got to be honest, Dan. What did you say? You said I can see us getting a point. No, sorry, a win, scraping a 1-0. I said as well, I really feel we're going to get something against Leicester. And everyone was like, you're mad. And I don't think people were wrong to say Leicester had a very good chance of winning. I totally agree with you. But I just had the feeling we were going to get something. And football is always about that sometimes, a feeling.
Twanzebe coming on for Dan James, so not Phil Jones, which is great to say.
Another positive. I think even that, I'm going to mention that in the match reaction.
Yeah, but no, I'd agree with what you said just now there about the result. So I just kind of had a funny feeling they could scrape a 1-0, especially when their backs are against the wall. And like I was saying, Leicester hadn't really put a foot wrong all season. They really haven't had a bad performance all year, and this is definitely not them at their best. So sometimes you have the perfect brew. You know, they don't show up, and we play just well enough to get the win. So 3 points is 3 points. It'll go a long way in our season.
Yeah, and you know what? It doesn't solve anything. I don't think it solves the fact that people are still very concerned about the issues that we've got, and that's absolutely fine. But as I said before the game, we've got to start.
Hold on now. Harvey Barnes is on it, and they're coming forward. Chilwell.
We've got to start picking up points.
Chilwell's won a corner.
See, we don't want any of this.
No, we don't. And it's into the first minute of 4 added on. So 91 minutes gone, 94 on the clock. Schmeichel's coming up.
Oh my God. We don't want to see that.
Short. It's blocked, and Diddy's got it. Ashley Young clears. Schmeichel's pissed because they took a short corner, yelling at everybody.
Get running back, mate. Come on, now. Don't let us down now, whatever you do.
Tillemans into the box. Maguire heads it out. Fred clears it. Right to Rashford. Rashford's... he was going to be away, but Johnny Evans did well, and Rashford's given up a free kick. Just inside our head.
Can only be about a minute or so left.
2.
2 minutes left, everybody.
Oh, Perez across the box. Harvey Barnes miskicked it, and Diddy... When Diddy hits it on a half volley, puts it just wide of De Gea's post.
Bloody hell. Yeah. Just hanging on a bit at the moment. But you're going to get that when you're only 1-0 up.
Yeah, against anybody. But Ashley Young's got to do better there. He's got to be tracking Perez. Didn't track him at all.
But as I said,
he was the one who put the cross in.
whatever this season's going to hold, I don't believe for 1 minute that United are a mid-table club. And if we're not a mid-table club, you've got to accumulate points. 5 points is crap after 4 games. So 8 points after 5 games, I can deal with that. Let's go to West Ham next week. Let's beat Arsenal, and you start to build again. And that's what it's all about. But this was the only way I could see United winning today, was by grafting, grinding, little bit of rub of the green. It was a stupid penalty to give away, but you take what you're given. And it's a massive 3 points. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right hand corner. We got match reaction.
Minute left, and Schmeichel's going to take a free kick deep in their half. Pereira tracked back well, and he gave away the free. Schmeichel's just pumped it up. Let's see here. Maguire's won that. It's fallen out to Ndidi. Shot's blocked. Fred clears. Chong giving chase. McTominay just pumped one up deep to Rashford, and he's under it, and he's onside. He's waiting for the ball to get to him. He tries to do a 360 spin, and it gets stolen by Tielemans.
Goldbridge is silent here. You don't normally get that. I'm just like,
no.
This would be, I don't care what anybody says, this would be...
be a big win.
Absolutely gutted.
McTominay going all the way in the corner. And he's won Has he won a foul? Hold on. What's the call here? Everyone's getting pushed. McTominay's holding his head. Pereira's pushing everybody. It's all kicked off by the corner flag, Mark.
Yeah, well, that'll get the fans up for it anyway, won't we? We'd like to see a bit of that, a bit of camaraderie. Fighting.
I will say this: that was very good by McTominay. He took the ball about 40, 50 yards straight down the line into the corner. Straight down the touchline into the corner. So
I love to see this. I love to see this with my eyes, because it shows the frustration of Leicester. They know they had an opportunity today, and they're going to be going back down the M6 or the M1, however you get to Leicester, and they're going to be very, very frustrated with themselves. So we move, and we take a point. We take 3 points, and we won't feature high on match of the day because we didn't score hardly many goals. But I mean, look, Wolves Chelsea 5-2. Bloody hell! Fair play.
They're attacking. They've been scoring a lot of goals. Well, they score 4 against Norwich, 5 against Wolves, 2 against.
I think it's full time, isn't it, Dan?
No,
not quite yet. No.
Not yet. They're taking a throw in now, unless they're going to blow it right when he throws it in.
Massive 3. Well, we're going to get the win now. He's got to blow it.
Yeah, that's it.
Ooh, come on. Boom, shakalak.
Nice. Excellent.
That is a fantastic 3 points for Manchester United. Look, it was a grinder. We've done more grinding than you know what, but that is a massive 3 points for United. And boy, oh boy, did we need it. And girls, we're equality here. Massive win for Manchester United, Dan, and thanks for coming on. Really, it's about time we won with you on, actually.
Yeah. I had the last time I was on was Palace, and that was an unmitigated disaster. So, thanks again for having me on. Everybody in the comments, appreciate it. Even the negative ones, I appreciate those too. We'll take all we could get. Listen, any press is good press, and fantastic 3 points. And let's go and get this first one in the Europa League. And I'll be tuning into the match reaction. Everybody like, subscribe, comment. You know the drill.
Hey Dan, we'll have you on again soon because United are shit these days. So we are playing a lot of games at 3 o'clock on a Saturday. That should have been on the telly though. It was a big game. Thanks for coming on, pal. I shall speak to you soon. And everybody else, we've got the match reaction coming up instantaneously. Links in the video description. Join me for that. We've got player ratings, etc. Big 3 points for United. I will see you over on the match reaction in about a minute's time. See you in a minute. Thanks for coming on, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely, brother.